and welcome to another episode of Fourever Rivals.
It's not.
How are we all going out there? That's an improvement, Manny. You should wear that around the house just quietly. How are we all going down there? We got a whole heap of people on here waiting.
Everyone's in the chat tonight, mate. Oh, boy.
They must be waiting for something. We're just going to see. As you can see, I'm wearing my the chincotta top, the one that held your merit to 15 fucking possessions. Well, to the chink, I told you, mate, the chink is going to do the job on you. Yeah. The chink, mate. The chink, he comes off fucking 6 months, fucking knee reconstruction, whatever the fuck he had, and you made your fucking shit captain look like a dud, mate. Yeah, well done. Yeah. Anyway, how are you, Marco?
Yeah, I'm good, boys. Good evening, boys. Good evening. And did everybody enjoy their King's long weekend?
Yes, I've had a few days off. It's been good for me.
Oh, it is the King, yeah.
Can I ask, when is the King's birthday? What day is it? What date is it?
It's always on the 10th of the 6th. Or it's on that week.
But it's not exactly
that week, but it's that week.
I know over here we celebrate a different day.
Yeah, it's always around about that week on that Monday.
But does anyone know when his actual birthday is?
It's got nothing to do with it's the King's birthday. It's the same day as the Queen. It doesn't matter. It's just
the Queen's birthday. Right.
I want to know when his birthday is.
It's a good time to have some time off, isn't it, boys?
100%. Liam, how you been going?
Yeah, we're doing good, legends. We're doing well. You know, school's out the way. We're working hard, and we're fired up. We're ready for a good episode. That's all.
And we've got here. Who's this bloke?
Good evening to everybody. I was gonna leave this on because I'm a little bit embarrassed, to say the least. There, Rocco, and good evening to everyone out there. Mark, like usual, your team disappoints, and you've disappointed us. I thought you were going to be wearing either the Carlton jersey or the Spud something, because the record tells us that your team didn't do too well against the Mighty Blues. And just before we say it, Matula, they did it for you. They did it for your dad. May he rest in peace. His memory live forever. So they did it for our Greek friend Matula. But good evening, everybody. It's going to be a chilly night tonight.
And you're absolutely right. I expected to have the Carlton jersey up the top there. What's going on, Mark? You're not going to keep your bet?
Is that what all the viewers want to see or not? I'm not quite sure.
No, that's what you said, isn't it? Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, look.
Rocker, there's a juicy comment here as well.
Coming over.
So the win, using the song. Carlton win, I'll wear the Spud Guernsey.
All right. Done.
I don't even know.
And you have to sing the song.
So, what are you not gonna do it, or are you gonna wuss out like your team, or what are you gonna do, mate?
Okay, look, I will apologise, but I did go out and try and search the Carlton Guernsey out there on eBay and so forth, but they sold out of the Guernseys, mate. They sold out.
Hear your weak excuses, bro. You're the one that said it. I don't want to hear your weak excuses.
No.
You've had a week to get it, and that's not true because they're all in the fucking thing. They're all in the AFL.
I don't know that, but what I'm trying to tell you, look, what I'm trying to tell you, boys, at the end of the day, I did go and try and purchase a Carlton jersey. Don't insult our audience, bro. Don't insult our audience. You made a commitment. You made a. So the win, using the song. Carlton win, I'll wear the Spud Guernsey.
All right. Done.
I don't even know.
And you have to sing the song. Apparently, Seba's going to get you a T-shirt that's going to have on it fraud.
You are a fraud.
Well, you're more than welcome, Simmer. Look, I will be honest once again. Like I just said before, I did try and purchase a
That
Carlton
is not
Guernsey.
honest. You're lying. You are lying, Mark. I will not accept
lying.
it. You are lying. You
Okay.
are lying.
So
You
there
did
was-
not go. You made
Oh,
a commitment, and you had plenty of time to go and get one.
look,
You know what? You could have even borrowed one. If you had said to Rocco, "Hey, Rocco, could I kindly borrow
I would have let you wear
one
that
of
one
many
there.
of your T-shirts?" He would have done it.
Spot on. And that was my thought as well, guys. Not for anything, but I did try and purchase a Carlton Guernsey, but obviously they're all sold out, Rocco. I'm not quite sure. Maybe all the supporters are buying it. So as having a plan B, right? Like a lot of football teams, AFL
There's
teams
no
have
plan B. I don't want a
I did have
plan
a
B.
plan B. I
Oh,
did have
no,
a
I
plan.
want you to wear what you said you would do.
Well, what's
correct.
plan
That's
B?
it.
Well, that's
What's
plan
plan
B,
B?
Rocco. I did have a plan B, and the plan
No,
What's
B.
I
plan B?
want you to do. There's no plan B. When you made the bet last week, there was no. If I don't do plan A, I will do plan B. Right? It was straightforward.
Yes.
It was straightforward. I
Correct.
said I would sing your song on air, right? Which
Correct.
I never do. And you
Yeah.
said if Carlton win, I will wear the Spud uniform, which you meant the Carlton, right? That's what you meant, right?
Yes.
And just in case you
Coming
missed,
over.
So the win, you sing the song. Carlton win, I'll wear the Spud Guernsey.
all right, done.
I don't even know
And you
what
have to sing the song.
Okay.
And you come along here and you just do whatever you want to do. That's
I'm not
all
doing
right.
whatever
From
you
now
want
on,
I'm
from
just
now on,
explaining
no
to
bets from you, mate. Don't
Okay.
worry about it. I don't want to know.
you. I have a
want to know.
plan B.
Seriously,
I
I
have
don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I
I
have
don't
a-
want to plan B. I don't want to know. I
Well,
don't want to know.
So Manny,
No, I don't want to know. I'm done. I'm done.
Manny,
I'm
well,
telling you
Manny
now.
got
I am.
plan B.
No, I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
Why?
I'm done.
Well,
I'm
what's plan B, Mark?
No, there is no plan B, Manny. I don't want a plan B.
Well,
I
there is a
understand,
plan
but I'm
B.
just curious.
No,
Our
there
viewers
is
are
no
curious.
plan B.
Unfortunately,
No.
Rocco, like I said 10 times before,
No.
I could
Sorry.
not purchase and
No, you're full of
Carlton
shit,
Guernsey.
and everyone knows.
that it
I
was
can't
sold
find
out.
Carlton jerseys in Perth, mate.
Well, mate, you should have bought me one in Liam, and I would have fixed
I
it up
don't have
for
to
you.
buy you one. You
Say
made
that.
the bet.
You made the bet. I'm not wasting my money on Carlton. Get out of here.
Well, I would have paid you back
Yeah,
for
what's
it if
the
you
bet
would have
you
got.
to spend my money
So,
on?
like I was saying, guys, here, I had plan B. The plan B
I
was
don't want a plan B. That's not for you to decide. There's a
there
plan B.
used to be a plan B,
It's
Rocco.
not for you to decide that.
Anyway,
That's not.
anyway.
Can you at least sing the song? Can you
No,
at
I
least sing
want
the
to
song?
wear the-
No. You're not. You guys are not listening to me. Cut a long story short, I got plan B. I had my fantastic neighbour Gino, and I said to him, Gino, I go, if you've got an opportunity, can you
Mark,
source me?
if you bring out one of your
Listen
props,
to me,
I
right?
guarantee
Listen.
if you bring out one of your
you
props
source
without
me?
wearing the top, I'm warning you, I will take you off.
I
If
said
you-
to my neighbour Gino, if you can
If you
source
bring
me,
out one of your props, I'm taking you off.
it's not a
I'll
prop.
tell you
I
right
said-
now. I'll tell you right now. Get
I
ready.
said,
Get ready,
Gino,
everyone, because
I said-
this is the last you'll see of him.
I said,
I'm
heck, I
telling
said,
you
love,
now.
I
You
said,
either
love, I
put
said,
on
heck.
the jumper,
Well,
you either
let's
put
give
on
him
the
the benefit of the
jumper,
doubt.
or you shut up.
No, so I said to Gino, I said, look, buddy, look, I've got to get
I'm
on
going
this
to
show
say it
tonight.
one more time, and then I'm going to take you off.
I said,
You
can you
put
go
on
on
the
top?
jumper, or else you can come off.
I will. So Gino went out and he sourced me a
If
jumper.
you put on anything stupid, right, I will take you off.
Well,
I am serious now.
okay, all right. So that's fine. Well, it is what it is. So he did go out and source me.
I don't want to hear it. No one wants to hear it.
Guernsey
No one
from-
wants to hear
from-
what you've prepared.
Well,
No one wants
maybe
to
the
hear it.
viewers do,
All we
Rocco.
want to hear is you wearing the top. That's all we
Okay.
want to see.
And
That's all we want to see. Can
and-
you
yeah.
produce that tonight? Can
Yeah,
you produce that?
I can wear the Guernsey. He produced a
You better
Guernsey.
be a Carlton. I'm telling you, if it's not a Carlton top, I'm taking you off.
It's a Carlton top. It was produced
All
from
right,
the
get ready. I'm telling you, and I'm fucking serious, man. I'll put fucking Scotty Tompkins or Seba for the rest of the show.
Fair enough. So he produced me a top from an antique shop in Reservoir, and if you guys like, I'm happy to put it on.
I'm
But
telling you, put it on, but I'm taking you off.
Give us a look.
No,
If it's a Carlton top,
No, because you can't. No, because you can't get away with your bet and think that you can just do whatever you want to do.
but I'm putting
If
on.
I had lost, I would have had to sing the song.
all right.
I'm putting
Well,
on. the Carlton colours.
Matula's actually saying, what if he sings the song and then we get on with the show?
No, I want to see the top.
Okay, so like I was saying, my next door neighbour Gino went out and sourced out some, Guernseys out there. So the win, you sing the song. Carlton win, I'll wear the Spud Guernsey.
All right, done.
Don't even know.
And you have to sing the song.
That's all I care about, Mark.
Oh,
I don't
that's
want to
fine.
see your props. I don't want to see anything. I'm telling you now. Let's move on. I can't be bothered.
Okay, so
You
it's
are
up
a
to
fraud.
you boys. It's up to you boys and the viewers.
I like to thank the Sporting
If you want
Globe.
to see it, I'm happy to put it on.
No,
It's
No.
no. You're a loser. You're
I'm
a loser.
not a loser.
Bro.
I could not
Yes, you
find a
are.
Guernsey.
You're a liar and you're a loser and you're a fraud. That's
I
all
could
you
not find
are.
a Guernsey. So
You're a
I'm not gonna
loser
pay
and you're a
$400.
liar and you're a fraud. Sorry, bro.
You want me to-
Sorry.
Manny,
Just
do you
one
want me
bit
to
of
put it on?
logic here for you, Mark, though.
Manny, do you want me to put it on?
No, just one bit of logic. You said that you couldn't find a Carlton jersey,
Yeah.
but your mate Gino can go and find one.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
Right.
an antique
How's that
shop
work,
in
mate?
Reservoir.
Mark, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Oh boy.
You're a loser and you're a
Nah,
fraud.
just one
Sorry,
minute.
let me continue on. Let me continue off the show, bro, because I don't want to go on all night with this. We've all worked out what you are, man. I've told you, don't talk over me. We've worked out what you are. Right. So, thanks to the
only had 2
Sporting Globe,
days.
I want
2 days.
everyone, thanks to the Sporting Globe, mate, they sponsor the whole channel. Thank you very much. You are a star. I also want to say that this week will be everyone, the Sporting Globe, this Sunday at 6:10 p.m. Right, and there is the big Liam. Your second team, are they?
I will be at that game. I will be supporting West Coast.
I know. So can you
I'm
wave
happy
when you're in the crowd? Can you wave when you're in the crowd?
We dead set. We are second row on the wing. That's
I
where
like
Dad
it. I'll look out for you.
membership is. So
I'll look out for you when Akers kicks a ball on the full there.
I'll have my hands ready. That's my dream. A crowd catch. So I'll be ready.
So make sure
Okay.
you get down there. Get your tickets from they're free. The link's below. Make sure you get your tickets, right? Because I thought I had it, but I haven't got it. Make sure the link's below and you can get it, and we can meet down there. There's already about 50 people already registered to come down there, so it's going to be a big day. I can't guarantee we'll win, right? But I can guarantee you're going to have a good time, mate. Now, let's get into some business here. First of all, thanks to our friend Peter, the Blue Bagger. He set up some more pictures for us, man. And this is, as you can see, Marco's supposed to wear the top, but again, fraudulent. Didn't want to go through with it. You got Manny there, just keeps holding up the flag. And there he is, sooking at the bottom. And then you got Liam also just a little bit not too happy there. Actually, back to reality today for you. And we've also got this one here. So he set up these for us. Peter Bluebagger. Thanks, mate. He was on the channel last night, made his debut appearance. Peter Bluebagger on the jumper punch, and he done a great show. Great effort, man. Great effort. And as you can see, Blues hold on to a thriller against the Bombers. Swans smashed the Tigers. They got smashed. And Magpies hold on to Gallant thriller. We'll talk about that, Manny. We'll talk about that.
Yes, we will.
And that was good. That's thanks to thing, mate. So since no one's doing their bets and fraudulent, what we'll do is we'll move on to what the show. Perfect. As you can see, I'm a bit disappointed when my team doesn't come up with the goods, but I just want to go through a few people. Well, there's a million comments. I don't want to put them all up here because 99% of them is talking what a fraud you are. But first of all, thanks for the donation. No, he won't do it. He was supposed to wear the thing, but he won't do it. But thanks for the donation. He was on the channel too last night. Debut. Great job. We had 2 debuts. It's like we had 2 people from the reserves come in and they killed it. It was a really good show last night. So thanks. And then we got Michelle. She's always on. Hello, my lovelies, Mark and Manny. Oh, she's getting a bit of like saying nice things to you. Yes, the chink. As you can see, Scotty's in there and Bodek finally took his mask off. This was earlier on. And then we started to I won't even put all the messages. We just honor your bet made by Mick. He won't. You did this last time. You had the bet too with Queen. You wouldn't sing it properly. Seriously. Here we go. Yeah, I'm with you, Blue Bag. You can't get away with this, Mark. Do you know you'll forever be a coward now, the way you represent your fellow Essendon scumbags?
Yeah.
100%, man.
Move on, buddy. Move on, mate. Move on.
Well, you know, I lost the bet, and I remember I had to shave this. I had to shave this the hairstyle and all, and I always like to have a good haircut and displayed, but I had to honour the bet.
I lost my bet and fucking got into my jocks and went into the ocean. Remember that?
I remember you froze your
balls. All over social media. You've got to see that. You'll get excited there, Liam.
Oh, boy. A little bit, mate.
Anyway, fucking hell. It's all about Mark. All right, we'll leave it alone. Frauds are frauds. Let's move on. We'll go into what we're going to talk about this week, yeah? So what was the first thing on the agenda that you wanted to talk about, Liam?
Yeah, a little bit of late mail. I only read the article today in the good old West Australian, actually produced something nice.
You want to do that one first, all right? If you're going to do that one first, I actually...
Well, I don't know. What do you want first?
Let's do it since you brought it up.
Yeah,
I've set it all up for you. So here you go, man.
Oh, mate.
Can you see that?
He's clipped it. Oh, mate, that's pretty good considering I took a picture of that on the table. Oh, mate.
Yeah, I fixed it all up. Can you read the bottom bit? You want to read the bottom bit just so people know what's going on?
Oh boy, I might need the glasses here. Nah. So it's basically about an AFL Cup. So it's like a mid-season tournament. So it says bold plan for WA.
It says here bold plan for WA to host NBA style tournament, and it says the AFL season tournament that is similar to the NBA Cup in the USA will be held in Perth as part of a dramatic fixture overhaul being designed by rival club boss. It would be all 18 clubs competing, separate round-robin competition that counts for premiership points, and it'll be in WA.
And two other non-Victorian states. They're thinking probably New South Wales and Queensland, as Adelaide's already got Gather Round locked up. So they've kind of sort of fixtured it out. Like the 6 different teams will play. They'll play one game, I think, like games are at the MCG in Melbourne. Then the next 2 weeks they'll play 2 weeks in that same city. So two games played in WA, 2 games played in New South Wales, 2 games played in Queensland. So it's something a little different. Middle of the season, it's for a different competition. It still counts towards your premiership points for the overall season, but it's those 3 games count towards an in-season cup, which you win, which is good. So, like I said, I listed off a couple of things before, just some quick things why I think it's good if the AFL can deliver it properly. One thing being that it keeps the competition alive. If it's later in the season, I think they said it would be maybe around round 17. If it's a team like Richmond, say, we're probably not going to be in the finals this season, but You know, we put together 2 or 3 good weeks in this in-season tournament. You never know. So it makes it exciting for fans who may be thinking, look, our team's just playing, going through the motions. Also, the travel thing is good. Obviously, it's clearly going to benefit teams in those states that I mentioned. They get to spend 2-3 weeks at home potentially. But also, it kind of evens up the fixture in the way that, you know, I think we've spoken about it before. I know we've had literally we had a run where we had 6 games in a row at the MCG. So, you know, it's good for the other teams to get out and actually travel, and forces the other teams to travel and leave Victoria. Evens it up for all the teams, which is good. So that's another big positive. Also, I mean, I don't know if you guys went and looked at the NBA, but they've done it and it's worked really well. It's a really good brand. It creates some excitement. It creates a little different bit of buzz, you know. And Gather Round, again, I've got to mention that we've seen how well it's been when you've had all the games in one state and how much of a success Gather Round has been. So trying to do something like that is, similar to that sort of in the same state. Yeah. So the idea definitely has potential. They can promote it properly. As I said, the NBA have done it, but NBA is a lot of a bigger, it's on a whole nother level to the AFL in terms of, you know, what they can produce and the monetary value that they have. But yeah, that's a little bit about it. What do you guys think? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea?
I just want to know. So just what I read about it. So it's 4 premiership points, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like a Wizard Cup in the middle of the year and that. So it's not like you're going to be using your players and then they get injured on a no game or something. It's going to be 4 points. I just don't understand how they're going to do it. So you stay over. You do a bit of a round robin with that particular group, and then you get your points. So it's pretty much another gather round, but they're doing it probably in WA, correct?
So it's basically those 3 games, they count towards the overall season's premiership points, but those 3 weeks, those points get calculated, and I think from what I understand, it's the most wins and then obviously percentage, because 3 weeks you'll probably have a couple teams get 3 wins, so whoever gets the most points and percentage in those 3 weeks, they are the sort of it's like an in-season trophy. So it is sort of like a Wizard Mab Cup sort of thing in season. Yeah, so it's a bit to get your head around. So it does still count to your overall. It's not like we're taking 3 weeks off in the middle of the season and how you play doesn't affect your premiership points. But it's kind of like for these 3 weeks, you're also sort of competing for a secondary cup. Yeah, interesting concept.
And before I get to Mark, just before I get to him, just remember this isn't official. It's just
an idea.
It's just an idea that it's been leaked out.
Yeah,
but
the Gold Coast came up with it.
Yeah, sometimes with these ideas, they're just more than ideas. They must be thinking about something, because Gather Round started with an idea also. Yeah, so Manny.
Well, I mean, the season's long enough, and then you potentially got to think about the fact that you've got, the winter that kicks in, and Victoria's, especially Melbourne's winter can be very, very harsh, unless you're resident, of course, and you play in the stadium with the roof, because they're pretty soft. But no, look, I think it's a long season. I think perhaps what's better is the fact that because Perth does offer good weather, maybe they might do a gather round in WA, and that would make more sense. And obviously it would raise a lot of money for the state. But I don't like the idea. If it's not broken, let's not try and fix it.
I'd like to know more about it before I decide what, because Gather Round, it's actually not too bad now, but I'd like to know more about it. Mark, what do you reckon, just on this little bit of information that we know?
I'm not going to get right into it, boys, but Gather Round to me is a waste of fucking time. So obviously they're trying to generate, Victorian sides and all the interstate sides to go to their state there and watch the games. And, obviously like Tassie, get out there and it's all about our tourism and making money. But I don't think it's going to work. Liam. I can't see it happening. If you're going to do gather round, do it in every state every year. Adelaide, Victoria, Queensland, and so forth, and move on. But I think it's just going to be a bit of waste of money from the AFL just producing this. But everyone's got their own thoughts about it.
I think you boys are right. It's definitely got potential, but how they're going to implement it, I just don't know if we've got the resources, or if we've got the capabilities to do it, to make it work there. There's, like I said, there's some positives to it. You know, it may even up the fixtures. Clearly, they've got their agenda of building it in the interstate teams outside of Victoria. Obviously, someone who's in WA, that's great for me. Yeah, great for other people. But yeah, as far as like trying to explain how it works with premiership points, and then you're playing for another cup. It's got a lot that can go wrong. So
I agree with this too.
I don't mind the idea, but yeah, it's got potential. I do kind of like it, but I don't see how it would work for the AFL.
Do we lose a home game at home? You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Carlton, do we lose a home game at home and then we play at a neutral ground?
Is his audio going or is mine going?
Teams, are they part of this? It's his what do you
Can't
Your
hear.
audio's cooked.
Even better.
Is it? Really?
It's breaking up a little bit, but it's all right.
Now I can hear you. Before you were breaking up.
All right, let me do this.
Testing. Yeah, we got you, mate.
Yeah, that's
went out for a sec. Yeah, so anyway, does it benefit us? Like, do we lose a home game, or do Victorian sides lose a home game by going over there? Like, there's a lot to but I like Manny. How about we start, like, instead of starting to try to get new ideas, how about we start getting rid of this shit, like round zero first of all? Let's get rid of that one first, right?
Yes.
And then we can worry about the others.
And what about teams like clubs buying interstate, like say Melbourne is playing against Freo at their home ground? I mean,
well, it's North Melbourne. It's North Melbourne.
It's North Melbourne, is it? Okay.
Is it North Melbourne, I think, or is it Melbourne?
I'm not quite sure.
No,
It is North Melbourne.
Yeah, so they're going over to Perth for their home ground to generate funds and so forth. I mean, it's how ridiculous is that? How can your club go out and buy another home ground state advantage? I mean, how does that work? What's North going to get out of it? 400,000, 500,000?
Yeah, maybe anything from they'll get out of it. A club that's struggling, like a team like North, you're not going to make finals anyway. You know what I mean? But
you risk that. You risk taking that to go, selling your home ground interstate. I mean, would you do that as your club, Rocco, or Manny, or Liam? Would you sell your home ground to another state at their home ground?
No, but we're in the shape where we don't need to.
I can comment a bit on the North Melbourne thing, because I was at the game in Bunbury on the weekend. One thing I will say, North fans actually packed it up. I was expecting it to be obviously West Australian, West Coast supporters, but there's a fair few North Melbourne supporters. The game was pretty cool. The game was terrible, but the ground was really cool. The ground was really well done. We got in a little bit late, Dad and I think we're like 5 minutes after bounce down. So we were up standing, but it was cool because you get that local community feel watching that game. And right up close to the action, right up with the fans. That was nice. One bad thing was the food. I had a couple of people, Dad took off at start of the third quarter, go get food. And I looked back at start of the fourth quarter. I was like, where is this bloke with his food? Like, has he got lost? But no, he's like, nah, still waiting for food. But again, that's what I said with like the AFL agenda. So kind of why they're doing things like this is they're expanding the game. We got to have another game in WA. Great for the town of Bunbury because they got to bring all these people down there. It just depends what the AFL's agenda is. As far as clubs selling their home game, I would hate it if Richmond do that. Obviously, I mean, I'd love it if they come down here and play an extra game in WA, but it doesn't make sense to me as to why you need to do that. Apart from a bit of that,
That's right. Spot on.
it doesn't make sense.
Games in.
Can't hear him again. Yeah. No.
So we're going to and
Yeah,
all the
Rocco, you
model,
got to fix your mic, bros.
all the model clan down. We meet them and we spent some time with them. So thanks to Rocco, he's a star. Meeting, we had a bit of a laugh.
Nah, man.
Rocco, we can't hear you, mate.
Yeah, you it's not.
You seem to be on and off.
Yeah.
So,
Hold
hot and
on.
cold.
I'll do something. Hold on. All right, can you hear me now?
That's better.
All right.
The nature of live.
Yeah, I've just
streaming.
changed the mic. I've just changed the mic around completely.
Oh, you sound more stereo now.
That's real.
You sound more stereo. Yeah.
Is it better or is it?
Yeah, you're better. You sound better. Actually, you do sound better.
All right, leave it like that then. So you asked, what's the AFL's agenda? The AFL's agenda is to make money. Let's be serious, right? That's all their agenda is. Their agenda is to sell the sport to all of Australia and get as much Australia to watch it as possible. Is it in their interest to play it in a place like North did the other day? Yes, it is. Do they attack teams like North who know they need money and they also don't care about their wins so much at the moment? Yes, it's easy. They've picked on North. They're not going to ask Collingwood. They're not going to ask Carlton. You know, they're not going to ask us because we don't need the money and we don't need to sell our games, you know. But teams like North actually do. Manny?
Yeah, no, you're right there, Rocco. And, it's funny you talk about, the AFL as a broad, the big picture. You're right. They only care about making money. And the one thing that really, really has disappointed me since we're on that topic is the fact that they sell the rights. I heard the other day there was a lady who was sitting there and she was getting pissed off because, she said, I can't afford, I'm on a pension. I can't afford a membership. I can't afford to go to these games. I look forward to a Saturday night where I can, sit on the couch with my granddaughter and watch the game. And she goes, and now Saturday night footy is gone because the AFL's decided to sell the rights. So, it's all about business. They don't care about me, you, the little old lady who can't afford it. They're relying on the big picture. You know what the big picture is? The big picture is us, the supporters, the fans. There's those who can afford it and those who can't afford it. And the ones who can't afford it now have got no choice. It's all about promoting something. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's funny, Manny, because that was a good segue that you did there. So you went from there and you went into our next topic that we wanted to talk to. So I'm pretty impressed with that, right? So we've discussed this before about the Saturday nights. So it's not on, it's not on free to air. So people can't watch it. So, and that's all because it's money rights, man. Foxtel paid more money just to so they can have the rights because they call it that Super Saturday, whatever they call it. It's all on Kayo, Foxtel, whatever it is, and they do it. And to tell you the truth, it'll probably get worse, guys. It'll probably get worse, man. More money's involved, the more times this kind of sit. Mark?
Yeah, well, free to air. What's free to air, Benny, mate? There's no free to air anymore, mate. It's all about, the dollars at the end of the day. So it's all going to be with KO and Foxtel and whatever's out there that you can watch the show on or the footy on. So I think it's a very basic kind of situation, mate. Just if you haven't got the dollars to watch it on non-free to air, you got to pay for it.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about, though, Mark. It's,
that's right.
it's sad. But it's sad. It's okay. It's okay for someone who can afford it, and they can afford, kayo, because kayo, mind you, I'm not trying to knock kayo. Not that I give a shit about kayo, but at the end of the day, it's $35-40 a month. Now, for you and for me, and for many, it might be okay, but there's a lot of people who can't afford that. And like I said, the little old lady who wants to sit there and watch the game with her granddaughter, and she, bowl of popcorn, let's watch Saturday night, we're going to watch the footy, and I can't watch my team. Why? Why are you taking away
obviously
something that's so important, something that's so special? Why? I mean, okay, I understand the right.
I'm going to watch your team, Manny, on the Saturday night, because that game that's on the Saturday night, it's not about the team that you're supporting. It's just some game that's they're going to put on free to air. So, you might be a Collingwood supporter on a Saturday night that wants to watch it on Saturday night on Channel 7 free to air, which used to be years ago. That supporters are going to watch it. They might scroll and watch a little bit of the game between maybe S and Carlton. So it is what it is, mate. It's you just got to have the funds to watch football and pay for it. That's the way society is.
I don't know.
And it's
I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's showing us right now. You can't watch a game on a Sunday on Channel 7. Well, what are you going to do? Watch the VFL?
No, I don't like it. I don't think sport should be a premium that people will pay to watch. That's not right.
But it's going to happen, mate.
But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Well, it is going to happen, Liam, because that's the way it is. It's all about money. So
I understand your point.
You can afford it or not.
I don't agree with what they're doing.
Listen, it is what it is, because I reckon it'll get worse too. You know what I mean? You'll end up where you can only watch it if you pay for it. Yeah, it's going to get to that stage for sure. Because there's money in it. There's ways around it, just quietly. There's a way you can get around from watching it off kayo, and there's other systems that cost you 1/10 of the price, which I'm not saying I know about these things, but I'm just saying there's a way to get around it, and there will always be. But you pay your membership, right, which costs me like $1,100 a year, and then I've got a subscription to kayo, $40 a month. That's for 2 devices, right? So you get 2 devices. That's $40 a month. So what's that? That's another nearly $500 a year.
Yeah.
Just to watch your footy. And to tell you the truth, I'm the kind that just watches footy. You know what I mean? I don't watch a lot of other sports. I do dabble in them. If the cricket's on, of course, I watch the cricket. Might watch a bit of soccer and that, but it's main. So I'm paying that money just to watch the AFL, and that's it, and ad free, So yeah. It is what it is. Let's get into something else. I don't think it's going to change. I'll ask Mark this. You saw the incident between Cher and your Durham?
Durham.
Durham. That's it. Durham. You saw the incident. What do you think? First of all, there are 2 things about this. First of all, what do you think about the penalty? And what do you think about the incident? And then we'll talk about how the AFL and Carlton and the umpires and the doctors all dealt with it, right? So, because there's four individual parties here that could have done something about this and didn't, right? So we'll see what happens. For me, this is another thing the AFL has fucked up again, and it's after it happened to the Collingwood player. They've done it again, mate. And I'll just quickly, you've seen previously over the weeks, right? They have stopped the game over the most stupidest things, right? They've stopped the game because someone's been just tripped over. They stopped the game, right? And now in this incident, mate, it just continued on. It was real weird being there. What do you reckon about it, Mark?
Yeah, look, I seen it, and I felt that maybe Durham should have maybe held back a little bit. I don't think he deserved 2 weeks. All right, that is it at the end of the story. The other player, Cher, still had a duty of care to either move himself away from the ball, and maybe that situation wouldn't have happened. But the guy really just got clipped He got clipped on probably on the end of his eye there, which created the bruise around his eye. But it was nothing to do with knocking him out. Obviously being concussed. I believe these days players, eventually those type of players like Durham and so forth, they're going to be gone in football in 10 years' time, mate. Because those players go in hard for the fucking ball, mate. They go in hard, right? And they're not going to worry about the other player going towards them. Cher should have thought about going into that ball, and she should have moved away, and the contest would have been quite closer. But he obviously didn't. And I believe 1 week for Durham. He's a hard player, mate. That's the case. I'm going to
have my say before we move on to the next. Before we move on to the next one, let me have my say about that. Again, that's poor, Mark. You're blaming Cher for that. Durham came in. Wait a sec. I'll let you talk. He came in. He went past the ball, and his only intention was to bump. Right? He didn't just clip him. He's almost knocked him out. He's got a big shiner on his face. So he didn't just clip him. Don't go making up stuff. Now you're trying to blame Cher for this incident.
You can't.
Mate, he's gone down to the ball to get it, right? Could he have turned a little bit? Yeah, maybe in a split second. If he had known what was going on, he would have cleared. But you could see him. He's going for the ball. He's looked up, right? Because he wants to see where he's going to handball. He sees Darren go past the ball and collect him. And then you turn around and say he should only get a week. You're lucky he didn't get concussed. And he was a second away from concussed. He would have got 6 weeks, mate.
Okay. Yeah.
And every other player has come out and said, I spoke to Ange Christou, and he said, right, that was one of the most dangerous things you can do on the ground. And he should know better than to go in when someone's got their head over the ball and try to bump. And if you think that's okay, Mark.
No, I didn't say it was okay. I did say the outcome of it wasn't acceptable.
He should have got 4.
At the end of the day, mate, was he concussed? Right? And this is my theory. If you've seen that on especially the medical team out there,
No.
Like the medical team out there waited 14 minutes for that player to go off. Everyone had seen it. That player should have gone off the ground straight away if it was a concussion.
Wait a second, and I do want to get into that. That because that's a separate issue.
Mm-hmm. That's a separate issue.
What we're talking about.
It's the outcome of the issue.
It's a separate issue. That is a separate issue. Sorry, right? That is a separate issue. The issue is, right, you're saying he only deserved a week for that.
Mm. Yeah.
No.
All right.
Well,
no. I agree with the Collingwood supporter comment. Dirty play. That's what it was. He ran past the ball and he smashed him in the head.
Did you see Liam, Tom Stewart?
Let Liam talk. Let Liam just have his say. What did you say?
He ran past the ball to knock his head, Mark. How's that okay?
But it didn't knock his head, mate. Because
it's not his head. He would have been knocked out where the contest is happening and hit him.
would have been knocked out.
Shiner on his head, mate. What are you talking about?
He's only got 2 weeks to get wasn't concussed.
Yeah, so why didn't the
because we know AFL can punish the consequence over action.
Mark, what are you doing? We just said this. I will talk about that in a second. That is a separate issue, right? We're talking about the incident. You're saying if there was hardly anything in it, it was Cher's fault and he should have only got a week. That's what you practically said. Liam, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
It's a dirty play, man. You cannot run past where the contest is happening and elect to bump a player in the head. You cannot do that. Should have got 4. We know AFL punishes consequence over action. Forget that for a minute. That's the sort of act that we do not want in a game. I understand an accident happening in a contest. I get it. This isn't even where the ball is. He's gone past it to make this impact. We don't want to see that in the game at all. It's a dog act. That's what it is.
Well,
yeah,
you know, like you're saying,
I'm
Liam,
disappointed that you're defending it. I know he's your player. I understand.
I'm defending it, mate.
I don't want to see that in the game from anyone.
It is a game of football, mate, and you've got some players out there. That's the way they play, mate. So if we're going to start eliminating, this in the game of football, mate, it's going to be bruise free, mate. It's going to be bruise free, mate. In 10 years' time, I guarantee you, Liam, when I see you, I'm telling you now, we'll be touching the players.
Mark, you cannot hit. You cannot elect to bump, right? You cannot elect to bump. Bumping isn't illegal. Don't get me wrong. Bumping is not illegal. But if you collect the head, you are in trouble. You tell me something, Mark. Do you want your kids to go out and play football and people to do those sort of tackles, do you? You know what mothers are going to do. They'll stop them playing football.
Now you're starting to play the game about kids and so forth. At the end of the day,
yes, because that's what
guys
happens,
are going out there. They're going out there and they're taking a risk of playing contact football, mate. And that's what I'm trying to say. If it gets to a stage where we're going to have to start not contacting. Well, mate, Liam, I saw an incident on Thursday night with Tom Stewart against a GWS player, and he hip and shouldered him, and he collected him on the head and knocked the guy out. You know what? He got nothing for it. He got nothing for it, mate. And he can cuss that player straight off the ground. Okay? Now, what Sam Doran done, I understand.
Who was that?
That was on Thursday night.
Tom Stewart and Nora Anderson.
Correct. So he's hip and shouldered him. His head, his shoulder.
Wait a second. You're full of shit, man. He got him in the chest. That fucking don't make it up. He's gone up and he's got him in the fucking chest, man.
No,
are you serious, Mark? What game are you watching? They played it over and over again. He got him in the chest. It wasn't high. That was a fair bump. As I said, listen with your ears. Right, listen with your ears, right? If you elect to bump and you hit the head, you are in danger, bro. Right? Mark Marcucci, thanks for the $7.99.
I'm with you, Rocco.
I don't know how many. I'm reading a super chat. I'm
not disagreeing about what Durham
I'm reading a super chat.
I don't believe he deserves.
Yes, you are. You're disagreeing with it. You said that it was Cher's fault. You said that. Oh, it doesn't matter. Why did he hit him, even though he's got a big shiner, right? And then you said, "Oh, 2 weeks isn't enough, man." I've spoken to enough people this week, and I've spoken to ex-players that they said that's a dog act, mate. So get yourself right, Mark. How many branches did you fall hitting out of?
Hard tough player, mate. And that's the way he plays, Rocco, mate. And that's what's happening.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'll tell you one thing for sure, mate. His coach would tell him, "You don't do that again, bro."
Yeah.
Because we need you on the ground.
Yeah.
That was a dog act, mate, and he could have paralyzed him.
He could have, but he didn't.
Not, bro.
But he didn't.
Well, can I?
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah. Well, why didn't he get 6 weeks then, Rocco? Why didn't he get 6 weeks?
Because he wasn't concussed, and you know it's an outcome situation. But what he did, he still collected him in the head, bro. He still collected him.
Yeah. I reckon he clipped him in the head.
And then for you to say the Thursday night, you are just dishonest. You're just a dishonest person. You're talking about Thursday night where he's collected him in the chest.
In the chest, he got concussed.
And you're trying to compare the same where someone's over the ball with their head down. He comes, goes past the ball and collect him, and you're saying that's the same? I seriously doubt you watch football, Mark. I seriously doubt.
I watch a lot.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
Two different
Black Manny, what do you reckon?
Well, I agree with Rocco there and Liam. Look, at the end of the day, we talk about him being a tough player, but it is a dog's act. And the fact that you've gone right past, you've totally ignored the ball, you've hit the player, right? Now, I can tell you right now, he's lucky he only got 2 weeks. And the reason he only got 2 weeks is because, right, let's break this up. Now, you look at duty of care, right? He smacked him. If you see the way Cher fell back, now, if you look at clearly the way he fell back, right, you could see that, it looked like his eyes had rolled back at one stage. He looked like he'd been knocked out. It was like a normal knockout. Now, put that aside for 5 seconds. Had the other 3 departments that we're going to talk about not failed and allowed Cher to be on the ground for those 14 minutes, and had he not been on the ground for 14 minutes, and he was almost immediately taken away, and it was dealt the correct way because the duty of care has failed in every aspect. I can tell you right now, you wouldn't be talking about 2 weeks. You'd be talking at least minimum 4, maybe 5 weeks. It is something that you got to learn. That is one thing that you got to abolish from that game. You can do everything else, but that kind of act on the game needs to be abolished completely. It doesn't matter how tough you reckon this bloke is, because I can tell you right now, I haven't seen any tough players on your team. You want to talk about tough players, you can talk about teams like Collingwood, who's got Maynard, and we've got some real tough players. But there wasn't a tough play. That was just basically, that was, to me, that is a weak act, because you've totally ignored the ball and you're thinking bang, and that's what you've done with your body.
Lou Foligno said something. He didn't paralyze him, and lucky. He was inches away from getting paralyzed. Trust me, right? That's what the AFL was trying to take away from the game, Mark. That's what they're trying. This particular incident is what they try, because if you allow this sort of shit, it will eventually turn into a paralysation.
Why give him 2 weeks then, mate? If it's that serious, give him 6 weeks, mate. That's exactly what.
I believe they should have given him more.
Well,
but I didn't. We go back to what I said, Rocco.
And this goes back down to the MRO, man. They're all over the place.
And don't forget what you said, Rocco.
No.
Three other parties have failed. 3 other parties have failed. The Carlton Football Club has failed. The medical department has failed, and the umpires have failed. Yeah.
Well, we'll get into that. Yeah. I want to get into that because that's the next stage of it. I just thought that one was going to be a quick conversation. It was pretty basic. He's a dirty act. He should have got more, full stop. That's it, It was a dog act. He's a dog. And he'll be known for a dog for the rest of his life, right? Oh, really? That's it. But yes, he will. He's a dog, right? Yeah, Cher, I have to admit, and even being a Carlton player, maybe he should have turned a little bit more, right? He should have maybe turned a little bit more, you know what I mean? So, and that's fair enough, but he got collected. He was first at the ball. He had his head over the ball. You got your head over the ball. You have a duty of care not to collect them in the head, full stop. But let's go into the other part of it, right? Yeah. Then after that, you've seen the Carlton team doctors looking at the footage, and they allowed it. So is it the Carltons? Because who's got responsibility here? As I said, the umpires they've got a right to stop the game, 100%. And you've seen it over and over and over again in recent weeks. After the Collingwood player went down, they've been stopping it for stupid reasons, right? Now they didn't stop it. And the third one was the AFL doctors out there. Because then when he came off, they went and assessed him. That should have been stopped straight away, because if he was concussed, right, lucky he wasn't, and he gets hit again, mate, who knows what the damage is after that, right? Getting 2 concussions in a minute could fucking really cause some damage. So, Liam, whose fault was that?
Instantly, I think back to that Schultz one that we all got all upset about maybe a month ago, whenever it was. It's the exact same problem. The AFL and the umpires need to stop in and say, hey, this has happened. We need to sort it out right away. Your club doctors need to be a bit more aware and be like, hey, he's got the big hit. I understand sometimes the players are like, oh, it's fine, it's cool, but it's kind of like, no, you need to get him off. You need to get him checked, do the right thing straight away. So if you let him run around for 14 minutes and he's not in, and he's copped a big head knock, and he's He's all over the place. He's not thinking well, and you've left him out there for 14 minutes. That's a concern. So the AFL needs to do better. They have to stop the game for head knocks. If they're making it such a serious point, but it's like, oh, we're worried about concussion and we want to take these acts out of the game. Well, take care. And I get it. I mean, this one's obviously different, but even when it's an accidental head knock, you need to be like, hey, I know we want to try to speed up the game. I get that, but if you're going to be serious about protecting the head, you need to stop the game when it happens. So the AFL needs to sort that out. Yeah, Carlton doctors definitely do have to come into question for this, because they would have seen that. There would have been replays down on the bench. How they can leave it for that long without bringing him off, without asking him a question. I don't know if a trainer went up to him at all and kind of said, hey, like, you're all right, mate? Like, you want to come off, or
I think they did. I think they did, just quietly, and everyone's saying that your incident with Noah Anderson, fucking hell, there was nothing there, mate. It was in the chest, so I don't know why you're bringing up that for. But I think he did go up to him.
Yeah,
but you don't ask.
That's where you need to save the player from themselves. That's when you 100%. Need to come in and say, "Look, I know you say that you're fine, but I've just seen what's happened, and from everything that we know now, with all the knowledge that we have around concussion and head knocks and all that, you need to say no. We're doing the right thing. We're taking you off. We're getting you checked. I know it sucks. I know it's bad. You have a good player out of your team for 20 minutes, but think about if that's a serious head knock and he can't play. I'm thinking of someone like Jeremy McGovern that we're talking about over here at the moment. He may not play again because of concussion stuff. Do you want this to happen to your player? I'd rather say, yep, let's take 20 minutes now. Otherwise, it could literally be career ending. I'm not saying that's what we want or that's what could happen, but 20 minutes or something.
Look at what happened to Petrarca. His wasn't a concussion. His wasn't a head injury, but yet he realized, you know what? I'm actually in pain. I'm not coping right now. And had he not got off the ground when he did get off the ground, he almost, from what they said, he almost died from that injury that he when Moore put his foot. Yeah, so sometimes I think players need to sort of put their pride aside and say, you know what, maybe I need to get off for a couple of minutes. Let the experts do the assessment, and then we can move on. So it's important. And as Rocco pointed out, a lot of parents don't allow their kids to play Aussie rules at a young age because of that fear, the fear that they're going to get injured. They rather sit there and play basketball. And most kids, in the juniors play basketball and soccer rather than play Aussie rules because parents are fearful of something like that. And and it doesn't take much. What would have happened, right? The worst case scenario, let's say Chera was end up being injured himself so badly that he ended up perhaps not being able to walk, or perhaps not being able to,
that's what they're trying to stop. They're trying to stop. They're trying to avoid that. You've got to protect the head, man. It's not like it was. Toughness isn't going past the ball and collecting someone's head. That's not being tough, man. That's not being tough. What's being tough is, like fucking first at the ball, attack the ball. He did not attack the ball, bro. But apart from that, the umpire, to me, should have stopped that game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They should have stopped that game. They've done it before.
Yeah.
They've gone over the top lately. Just go over. This is actually not a bad idea. What about allowing the sub to come on for like the 5 to 10 minutes while they're getting assessed? That could be an idea.
That's fair.
He's sitting there.
That would,
what do you
actually be better than having the sub rule in.
Yeah, not just
I like that idea better.
Why not using there? We've got someone who's got something to say. He's got.
Here we go. The PowerPoint presentation.
All right. Now I have the case study for you, Marco, you fraud. All right.
He's actually got one up. Shit.
Hello to everyone on the chat. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Stop moving so much. Stop moving. You're making me dizzy. You're making me dizzy.
So if we watch closely, if we watch closely, right? If we watch closely, let's just watch closely, right? You said, Mark, that he hits his head, right? Now you tell me where he hits his head.
Fucking hell.
Wait up. Let's keep it rolling. Where does he hit his head? Where did he hit his head? Now tell me, I don't know where you got your fake news from, but where did he hit his head?
That's pretty close to hitting his head, mate. It was pretty close.
It was nowhere near close to hitting his head.
He
didn't hit his head. What do you mean that was close? He didn't hit his head.
Go on, Seba.
You brought up a case that has no relevance to what we were talking about.
This is what I'm getting to. You're bringing up things that are completely, they're in the complete different realm.
Yeah.
They're in a complete different realm.
Okay. Yep.
So I don't get how you can compare that to Durham's hit. Look, yes, as Rocco said, maybe Cher should have turned a bit more or whatever. But then again, it doesn't matter. Durham still has to have the duty of care to not go and fucking clean up Cher and almost paralyze the prick.
Yeah. Cher was fucking.
Both players need to have a duty of care, mate. Both players.
You know I like Durham.
The way the football is being played, Seba, both players need to have a duty of care. And that's
then you're right. And Cher should have maybe turned a bit more. But he wasn't the one that collected your player.
No, and I'm not discussing now. I'm not saying that Durham shouldn't have got no weeks, 1 week at the least, because he didn't actually concuss the player. Obviously, going by your medical staff there at the Carlton Football Club, by having that player on there for 14 minutes after he's supposed
not
to be
the problem with the hit.
So come on,
and that's problematic, right? That is problematic, and that's what we're discussing now. But it should. I believe it's not even the Carlton. It's got to be taken out of Carlton's hand. It's got to be into the umpire's hand. They should have done it.
The umpire.
But again, you're trying to handball it off now, right? And you're going, oh, but Carlton, no.
That is your player, mate. That is the Carlton Football Club player. You're going to worry about a fucking umpire. You should have got that player off the ground straight away from the doctors.
I understand that, and we said that. We said that.
Or the umpire's going to go, oh, you stay on for the next 10 minutes, mate. You're being cussed. Your club should have got that player off the ground straight away. Okay?
Am I in the twilight zone here? Are we seriously? Is it just me, or is it like I don't get it sometimes, the conversation. I know you just want to argue every point, Mark, right? But on a serious note, for once in your fucking life, right? Tell me something, right? In the other situations, all throughout the year, right? Soon as there's a fucking injury, they don't wait, the umpires, right? They make a decision to stop play, right? Now, right, that I'm saying, yes, Carlton maybe should have done something, but it's up to they're officiating the game. They are right there, right? What are you talking about? I'm saying that it could be, whose fault is it? It doesn't take away that your player's a dog.
Rocco, can I just say, this is hot off the press. They've just released a game for all Essendon supporters out there. Dumb questions to ask your friends. Go out there and buy it. Because seriously, you got no idea. Hot off the press. Dumb questions to ask your friends. Oh, do you reckon that he should have gotten 2 weeks? Nah. I don't even know why he got 2 weeks. He just tapped him. Seriously. Like I said, the only reason he got away with the 2 weeks is because we know that the umpires, the Carlton Football Club, and the doctors fucked up. Right?
Just quickly, before you go, just got a question here. What model car is that behind you? So what I've done is I should have taken it down. I do some other stuff that I've been recording, like it's not footy related or anything. It will come out soon enough when I'm finished my project. But yeah, that is, if you believe it or not, that's my first ever car, an EH Holden.
Yeah,
I sprayed and rebuilt myself, and probably one of my biggest regrets, guys, is I got rid of that car, far out.
It's a lovely thing.
It fucking hurts me to look at that car, man. It hurts me.
I'll never sell the Gemini.
Oh, it just hurts me, man. It was just dumb, mate. Like, anyway, keep going.
Going on that, Rocco, my first car was a SLR Tirana.
Oh,
that's was that a rich boy car back then?
Oh, mate.
Yeah,
cost me a few bucks. I should have got rid of that now. I'll tell you right now. And I can show you a picture of it when you get the
So you two are very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. I, on the other hand,
Manny had the Flintstones car.
Yeah, mate, I had a donkey. Mate. I used to feed it carrots.
You're on fire tonight, mate.
The 65, I believe, was the EJ. Or was that the 63?
EJ or EH? No,
mine was an EH. It was a 64. So I think that was a 64. I think EJ was 63, if I remember correctly. So they had the different lights. Yeah. So I used to love that car, man. It was the best, man. It was just look how cool that car was, man. It was fucking awesome.
I've always been a Ford man, Rocco. So
I love Ford too, man.
Liam, what car do you drive, buddy? What's you put what?
First car, Suzuki Swift, and it's still my car. Still driving
Suzuki Swift. Same car,
mate. That is my
probably
car.
worth a few dollars in about 30 years' time, I reckon, buddy.
It's a good little car. It does the job.
Yeah, manual,
auto, stylish. Nah, auto, mate.
Auto.
Manual's too complicated for my brain and stuff. I'll be honest.
What about yours, mate? What's your first car?
I've got my first car that I drive now to this day is an RX-8 Mazda, and I'm currently building a 1980 Holden Gemini from the ground up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Liam said can't wait to drive.
And me and my brother, we have our dad's old VL Calais.
Oh, beautiful, mate.
Original.
Yeah.
So,
all you need now is to find you. Have you got a missus there, Seba?
Nah, I wouldn't waste my time because she'll take everything from me.
Find yourself a Italian girl with the name Maria. Make sure she's got a Celica.
Nah, that's my nonna's name. That's my fucking nonna's name.
Don't take the Italian girls, man. The Italian girls are gone now, mate.
Nah, man. In 20 years, my bank account will be zeros.
That's true. The driving a manual is a dying art these days, mate. Not many people know to drive a manual anymore, man. They get that auto.
No.
I can't believe we went.
I had a friend of mine years ago. I know we've moved from the footy, but I had a friend of mine years ago. She used to be also my hairdresser, and we were good friends. And her name was Maria, and she used to drive a Celica. And it was funny. And I think about it now, these Celicas have disappeared.
Yeah, well,
Celicas are mad.
My ex, when I met her, she had a Celica, a yellow Celica.
There you go.
Did you own a Gemini at any time, Rocco?
Nah, but my mate did. He owned a Gemini, and that was a cool car. And so we had a Gemini. I said my other mate had the rotary.
My dream cars I showed you on the weekend.
The RX-3, mate, that was quick. Man, we used to have such a ball with that. And when he first got it, it was on the outside, it was rough as guts, mate. You know, and he got the motor rebuilt. He ported it.
Would have chopped everything.
We used to rock up at lights, and it used to be like some Mario with his car out there. And he used to, because we used to drag everywhere. Those days, as soon as you got to the lights, there was a drag on, always, Yeah. And they used to look at you like a little bit of a laugh, and mate, that RX-3, mate, far out, man. It used to give you a whiplash.
Hey, they're the best cars ever. There's nothing better than old cars. Doesn't matter what anyone says.
I know. Well, everything old is good, man.
Yeah, but it costs you an arm and a leg to fucking rebuild.
Nah, now you can't. Forget about it. I wish I kept it, man. So I can't believe we went from
roasting Mark to cars.
Oh, he's been on fire tonight, and he didn't wear his fucking jumper like the week.
Hey, can I just say something? As much as Manny can all get on our nerves, at least he owns up to a bet. At least he owns up to a bet.
Of course, mate. Of course. I sang the song.
The first Greek I've ever known to own up to a bet.
Mate, I sang the song. I shaved my head. It's believe me, it was tough for me to shave my hair. I'm always, everything's in place, mate. It was, but then again, you know what? I'm not sort of surprised because for the last whatever years, there's been nothing but disappointment at the Essendon Football Club. So they're all depressed. They're always depressed. The moment it's their time for them to own up and say, you know what, we lost. I'm honouring the bet. It's all about. You know what? They're just a bunch of depressed people.
Oi, Rocco, what did we say, me, you, and Dylan, while we're walking to our gate on Sunday?
Oh, funny. So we'll walk into the game because we go to games, unlike some other people, but we go to every game. So after we got our bobbleheads, right? After we got our free
bobbleheads,
after we got our free bobbleheads, right? We're walking there, and there's like, I don't know. I didn't even know what the crowd was because they lied on the board, remember?
I think it was 70,000 or 75.
They lied. But anyway, we're walking there, and there's just thousands of Carlton and Essendon supporters just walking, and we just looked at each other. We go, this is the biggest bunch of losers all in one area that I've ever seen, mate. You can't get more losers than this, mate. And it's fucking true, mate. Like, it's just it was 70,000 losers there, man. That's all it was, man. So it was quite funny. Do you want to talk about why we
Carlton
get you there?
Were they Carlton or Essendon losers?
Both.
Just both of you.
Both. You're the bigger losers because you like to take peptides, and then you like to say that it's okay to hit people on their head. Yeah, so at least we admit it. At least we admit it. At least we know what it's like to win a final in fucking 20 years.
Yeah, true, mate.
Yeah.
That's in the final. Oh, boy.
You know what? Silence. You know what I've learned? Silence says more than what you think, mate. When someone is silent, it says a lot, man. While you're there, Seba.
Yes.
We might as well go into our game, and we'll get you there. So we got that 11-12-78 to 11-4-70. So it started quick fire, 6 goals to 1. And then
you just knew what was going to ensue after that first quarter, didn't you? And if you couldn't believe your eyes during the next 3 quarters, then I think you're quite possibly the most deluded Carlton supporter of all time. That was a very hard watch. That was a very hard watch, to be honest.
It was a hard watch to watch.
And what
it was really, you want to know the truth? Like on our show last night, the title was Shit and Shitter.
That's exactly what I said to you after the game.
They're 2 ordinary clubs, and they played like that. They played like 2 ordinary clubs, man. At the end of the day, we come away with the points, and I'm glad that we come over the points, because anytime you beat that shit, it's good just to see them, and then to make them, as they walk it out, the way they thought they were like, they did well.
I was saying to people as we're walking out, we're shit, but you're shitterer.
Yeah, we can say that to the Essendon supporters. You're shitterer, mate. And the way they accepted, Essendon accepted the loss as a win, I just thought, yous are just disgraceful also, man.
But it tells you everything about where both clubs are at, I guess.
Yeah. And we got supporters like that too. They were like pumped that they won. Man, I don't know. As I said, it was good to beat them, but it was one of the, I felt like one of the worst I felt after beating Essendon. It wasn't like like you're pumped, you won, you know. Look, before I get to Mark, and Mark can have his say about the game, but look, we had some good performances. Motlop, I've been bagging for weeks. He did his job, but it's funny when they leave him in the forward line, what happens. As I said, even though Chera was hit by that dog, he still come out and was best on ground, man, and he played a really good game. Silvani has impressed me all year, man. That bloke, we put him in defence, and he's probably you know what? He's our best defender. I reckon he's almost is almost fucking leveling with Wiedering at the moment, you know. So he played really good, you know, like little Hollins is just a monster. TDK did okay. I thought he did okay. He was playing against a 50-year-old, but he did okay, you know. Curnow been disappointing. We're missing after half time.
Curnow's been like that for fucking the best part of 2 years, a year and a half now. He's been
he goes missing. He
dog
does what
shit.
he's got to do. And then, of course, the chink
locked him up, locked Zach
locked him
Merritt
up. Fucking don't you go anywhere. So his first game back, that's second time in a row he's done it to Merritt. He's going to held him up, and and I think Merritt tried to get away from it and try to move forward and that, but it just didn't work.
I got maybe one thing. I'd probably like to ask the chat too. I mean, the chat that are Carlton supporters. I think I'm starting to. I don't know. I mean, look. I guess we won. Well, great. Well done. Woohoo! But I'm sort of starting to dislike going and watching the team now. I'm starting to. I won't stop going because it's just etched into my brain. It's like muscle memory. Get in the car, go to whichever ground, and come home and still be disappointed. But I'm starting to fall out of love with the team, and I just can't be fucked watching them anymore.
I'm gonna. I will get to Mark, and we might ask the chat that too. But I'm going to correct you. All right, because I'm going to educate you, right?
You're educating me.
I'm going to educate you, bro, man. I got fucking 3 times. I got jocks older than you, right? But just remember I could eat alphabet soup and spit out a better statement than that, mate. So, no, listen. I think what you meant is you love the team. I think you don't like.
I don't love the team. I don't love the team.
Listen to me before you keep talking. You love the team.
No.
Right? Listen. You love the team. You don't like what they've become, because that's what I feel like. Like, I could never not love the jumper. But
I love that. I love the monogram, not the team.
You love the team, but you don't like
the players.
You don't like what they've become. That's how I feel. This shit. Anyway, Mark, your team was playing in it too. What did you take out of it?
Yeah, I did. Our team did play, mate. So I'm just going to quickly go through the game. But I felt after quarter time, I think in the second, third, and fourth quarter, I think Essendon outplayed Carlton. They outplayed them. They started winning the uncontested marks. They started switching the ball across, and they started getting that free-flowing game and converted kicking goals. So, you know, it happened last week against Brisbane as well, the first quarter, and then we come back, and it's a learning curve. We've got so many young players in this team at the moment. I can go through them if you want, but I'm not going to get too much into detail. But I think there was a couple of crucial moments in the game. I think there was about 2.5 minutes into the last quarter, and Sam Durham, uncontested mark at centre-half forward, no one near him. He just dropped the mark, and there was a turnover. We were 1 goal down. So I thought, if you could just mark it. I was there watching, and I thought, mate, just fuck it. How could you not mark that ball, man? There was no contest. There was nothing there. Get the ball, mark it, get onto your left foot, kick it long, and obviously, you know, things could have changed. But that was a pivotal moment. And also the second pivotal moment, I think, would have been TDK, that tackle with old gold there, 37-year-old Ruckman in the centre. And, you know, that was a pivotal point of the game too, where obviously I think it would have been Zach Williams that grabbed the ball and kicked that goal. And I'm really, really proud of that young fella, mate. He had the ball 20 metres out, running towards goal. He didn't go back and show the players the ball. He went out there and he showed the team, the supporters the ball and kicked it. So kudos to you there, mate.
Who? But Zach Williams?
I think it would have been Zach Williams, yeah. He was running.
I'm fucking disgusted in him. Did you see what ensued after he fucking did that? The cheek on him. To be 4 and 7 or 5 and 7, and he's going to the crowd like this. Relax, bro. You're versing Essendon's fucking NGA team. The same as Blake Acres, a fucking disgrace. celebrating like he's won the fucking grand final and flexing. Relax, bro. Your 29 possessions were the most hollow 29 possessions I've seen from a player ever.
Yeah, but I just thought
the fucking cheek on. I'm sorry to cut you off, Mark, but some of the cheek on those fucking players on Sunday was disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. And you know what? It tells you everything about where that club is, or actually the whole club and where that playing list is. They don't give a fuck. They got no idea. You're sitting 2 wins out of the 8. You've got no clue. You're not going to make the finals because, let's be real here, they're not making the finals. They're not making up those extra games and relying on other teams. But the cheek on him, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't say that. I just looked at him running towards goal. There was no one near him. And he could have shown the ball. He could have shown the ball to the players, and
I don't like the show.
That's another story.
If he showed the ball to the player, the Essendon player catching him, I would have not felt bad if the Essendon player went up to him and completely Barry hauled him and knocked his block off. I would have applauded it.
Yeah,
I would have applauded it.
But I felt Westerfield, although
he was
boys
good.
were talking about Cincotta there with Zach Mayer, but I felt that Westerfield tagged Paddy Cripps quite well. And they were, quite equal in that contest there. But
you know who was good too, Mark, for you guys? Well, I think he flew under the radar a bit. I think Xavier Dersman was pretty good for you guys as well.
Yeah, well, obviously, and that's what happens when it was his 100th game, and sometimes players will step up that next level.
He
needs to be more consistent in that kind of position that he's playing in the wing half forward.
Can I just ask a question?
Well, before you ask the question, or else I'm going to miss this comment and I'm going to forget it. Right? There was he must be an Essendon supporter, so well done. Thanks for joining us. Chin had three touches, and Elise Merritt had more touches. If you're happy with that, I mean, Cincotta's role was to stop Merritt. That's all his role was, man. He's very good. So he's done his fucking job, man. So and we won the game. And we won the game. So that's a ridiculous comment. I thought Cincotta, I gave votes. He might have had three touches, but that went a long way to us winning the game.
His influence on stopping their probably most influential player was huge.
By far. If Merritt gets 30 and 2 goals, I mean, you probably win the game. So he's done his job. The other thing is, I think you've done better for 2 quarters. I've watched the game again. That last quarter, we should have been like up. That's the issue. But when you do watch that last quarter, man, we won 12 clearances to 2. We won the ball back. That last quarter, we got it back on our terms. You got a couple of goals, but so did we, and we held you. We got a couple of good goals. So I think the last quarter we had you, and probably deservingly won at the end. Yeah. But when you're 38 points up, I expect to win by 10 goals, and that's my issue with the game. But in saying that, what have you said, Mark? We got the points, mate. We got the 4 points. Remember, you keep saying that. We got the 4 points. That's all that matters on the night, mate. That's all that matters. To tell you the truth, that's buried you. You got no chance of making finals now. Even though you won, we've got no chance. You've got no chance anymore because you've got you've got to win some real tough games in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So unless you can do that, but I'll give you some credit. Last 2 weeks, and this is the only credit you'll get. You have been playing a lot better.
100%.
And I'll give credit to that bomber viewer out there, mate. We can all have our choices and reasons to think what we need to think, but still quickly going on the game, we'll bypass it. But Nick Martin, this guy eventually is going to be an elite player. Fantastic ball user. And you've got to be also mindful that we had a late withdrawal as well in Mason Redmond in the back line. You think about it, we're missing 5 of our key backmen playing football, and at least the Essendon Football Club and the players taking it to these sides. But we're missing.
The thing is,
Hang on, Mark. Hang on. No, they're not. Hang on.
You had a lot of injuries. Wait a sec. You had a lot of injuries. Wait a sec.
And I've listened
to. Wait a sec. Wait 1 second. I'm going to let you go because I've got to address this, right? I've got to address this. You've had a lot of injuries. Mackay was a late withdrawal for us too, but let's forget about that. But I'll tell you something. Last year, you gave it to Quinn every time he mentioned his injuries. You said, well, you should be able to. Injury doesn't make a difference. You went over and you kept doing it. You never gave. We had a lot of injuries last year. You never gave us credit. This year, you've already used that excuse 3 times, bro.
Yeah, at least we're competitive, Rocco, and that's the key. So we're at least
but you got bananas in the last 2 weeks.
It's an opportunity for the young players. But I will give you blue supporters out there, the viewers, a bit of a statistic if you want to hear the facts. The fact is,
tell me the facts, Mark.
The fact is that Carlton, the average player is about 27 years old. The average player. Now you're going up against a competitive other clubs out there in Collingwood.
Yep.
Brisbane.
Yep.
Long.
Yep.
Hawthorn.
Yeah.
And Adelaide.
Yes.
So your average player is 27 years old, and those teams that I just mentioned are in the top 8, and Carlton are struggling to be, what are they, 10th?
Yeah.
So
what's
the point? So what are you getting at?
I don't understand what you're getting at.
It's a bit of a concern that these teams that have got
older players. Mark. I don't need you to tell me what's a concern and what's not a concern. What kind of dumb stat and naming those teams, what does that do?
It tells you that I think if Carlton are not in that premiership, don't worry about the game that was on the weekend.
I'm worried about the game that we beat your dumb ass
3 years. It's all over.
What about it's all over for you, bro? What do you think that you just competed in the last 2 weeks? You think now, I've heard you, Essendon supporters, going around like you're world beaters. You still can't win. You're lucky that you played well in these last 2 games. And again, you play the mediocre side on the weekend, mate.
It just goes to show, Rocco, at least we're honest about where we are. You guys need to start smarting up very, very quick.
Have you been listening to me at my shows for the last year? Have you been listening? We're the only ones on this. You're the biggest fraudulent there is on this panel.
I will keep on going and supporting my club, mate, no matter what.
No, you won't, because you didn't even go to the game.
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
You don't support your club. You're America. You are America, bro.
Mark is just a common fan
who doesn't even honour their bets. Can't talk to you no more. You're
Mark
dumb,
is the
mate.
common fan.
Congratulations.
He's the common fan.
Congratulations to the Carlton Football Club on beating the Essendon Football Club by 8 points.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll take it. Yes.
I'll take that. We beat you.
And we'll beat you in round 24 as well.
We'll beat you in round 24. And you'll be another 400 days without a final.
Did you want me to put the jumper on or not? The guernsey on or not?
Yes, put it on.
Put it on. I want you to put the real jumper.
Liam's saying no. Liam's saying no.
I don't care what Liam says. See this? See that? See that? That makes me the grand master.
Wait up.
It happened once and it can happen again, mate.
Hold up one second.
It's going to win. You sing the song. Carlton win. I'll wear the Spud Guernsey.
All right. Done.
I don't even know.
You have to sing the song.
Did you hear that?
Wait up. Let me finish what I was saying. Bomber Fanatic Pete. Some of the soft free kicks given to yous. It happens every fucking week to each team. Everyone gets soft free kicks.
Yeah.
Everyone. If you really want to go and count it, you can go and count another 10 free kicks for fucking Charlie Kerner every single game that they don't pay. right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's not me crying. And that's not me crying about it. I usually bake Charlie Curnow and call him a weak dog for it. But that's not the point. So you can't sit there and say soft free kicks. But every team gets soft free kicks.
Yeah.
Every team. You can't.
But
you know
to be
what I
quite
mean?
honest with you, man, mate, Charlie Curnow should have relished the opportunity.
Oh, he should have done. He should have destroyed that kid.
He should have.
Dismantled the Essendon Football Club on that Sunday night.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree.
We baked him because we're honest. We're not frauds like you. We're not someone that says almost kills a player and then tries to defend him. We baked him. We baked him last night. We baked him. We don't lie. He should have kicked 10 goals against you guys. But you know what the fact is, Mark?
He didn't.
He didn't. But you know what the other fact is? We won. You walked out with your tail between your legs and you fraud, didn't keep up your bet. That's what the honest truth is. And that's what you get the average. The Carlton average age is 24.6. What's the average?
Hang on. I've actually got those stats up. I can read them for you. The average age ones. Because they just posted it yesterday and I saved it. So this is from average age of the teams from round 1 to round 12. Carlton, 4th oldest team, 26.2 is the average age. Essendon, 4th youngest team, 24.9. We're the 2nd youngest, 24.7, and Collingwood, oldest, 28.5. 2nd is Geelong and Brisbane with 26.5. So that's like, you guys are crazy old, but you're performing. Any the youngest team though? The youngest team.
You know, the older experienced teams should be up towards the top of the ladder, and that's what Collingwood, Brisbane, Geelong. You know, that's the opportunity.
The top 3 is Collingwood, Geelong, and Brisbane, and I think they're all in the top 4. And Carlton's next in there. I don't know, mid-table.
Hey, Mark.
That was my theory. Not to have a go, directly against Rocco and the boys here.
All I hear from you, Mark, every week, it's like you sound like a broken record. Kudos to that dickhead. Kudos to that motherfucking tosspot. You guys are fucking shit.
Hey,
Kudos to him too. You guys, if I was an Essendon supporter, I'd feel disgraced. First of all, you've seen no finals.
The only reason why you can feel so fucking...
You need to sit there. You know what? I can brag, mate. I'm sitting on top. I can brag. You're telling me 2 weeks ago, you guys got to be careful because you're going to miss out on the 8th. Mate, I don't know. Maybe somehow the football club, when you get a membership, they also give you something. You're smoking or you're snorting because I got no idea what you're talking about, mate. You guys should be humble and say to yourself, you know what? At the moment, we're copying it doggish style, Greek style, any way you want us to call it, right? And then just move on, okay? At least the Carlton supporters, I sit there and I watch the show, all right? I watch the jumper punch. At least they say they're honest. They say, you know what? At the moment, we're thinking about rebuilding. Voz has got no idea what's going on. We got injuries. We got players that are coming in and out. We got this and that. Kudos to him. Kudos to what? You should be saying kudos because you guys are doing nothing at the moment.
I've got a question.
Sorry, Rocco. I can understand where Manny's coming from here at the moment because your side is sitting pretty on the top, mate. But once you start copping the Vaseline, I'll come and get you, mate. And I'll tell you right now, eat your words, Betty, because you're going to keep going the way you're going. All right?
Yeah, but Mark,
going the way you're going.
But Mark, you can't say that. You can't.
Doesn't matter.
They're more than likely going to win the grand final again this year, and I'm not afraid to say it. I think they're going to win it. So you can't even have a go at it.
Fucking magpie, many fucking flag pies wagon as well, mate, because I would be fucking jumping on it, to be quite honest. Mind the swearing. I do apologise for the swearing.
Anyway, I'm going to bring this back. Before I let you go,
I'm not talking to you anymore.
I got mine up there as well.
He's fucking lost it.
Hey, first of all, I reckon this is true. Curnow just got bored of that shit team they're playing against and fucking decided to go to sleep, and we still won. Hey, but I've got a quick question. This is a serious question now.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Manny, and I'm going to ask Seba, and I'm going to ask Liam, and I'm going to ask the chat, and then we're going to move on. All right, Curnow belongs at Collingwood. Yep. All right, so fucking Collingwood want Curnow, right? They want him, Curnow, and we're willing to, and I'm willing to trade him. I'm not.
Yeah, everyone but Wiedering is on the table.
I've said this. Everyone but Wiedering is it. What are you giving us? Because he's on another 6-year contract, right? So what are you going to give us for Curnow? And I'll ask the chat, and I'll ask Manny.
I'll go first.
On a serious note, what would you give us for Curnow for us to let him go? And it has to be good. And just remember something, Manny. You get Curnow, your big forwards are with him and what's his name? Fucking the little bloke running around there and maybe Bobby Hill and that, man. All of a sudden, that forward line looks unstoppable. Yeah, So what would you give him?
Look, Rocco. You can't take anything away from Curnow. He's a superstar. Doesn't matter where you throw him, and he's got that amazing kick.
I know. We know how good he is and everything. All I'm saying is,
but right now, you're talking to me whose team is doing.
Manny,
right, hang on.
About that. You're not going to get him this year. We're talking about at the end of the year. You want someone like Curnow. What would you give up? And trust me, you'd want
to give up something.
Well, if you're saying that we would want someone like Curnow, why are you so happy to say that the only player you wouldn't trade is what's his name?
Wiedering. Yeah, he's the only one that's
so therefore you can't be valuing him that much if you're quite happy to trade him.
No. What I'm saying is sometimes you need, like you gave up Grundy, Treloar. At the time, Grundy was a 7-year contract when you gave him away. Remember, Gold Coast gave away Jeremy Cameron was a Gold Coast? Or
Tom Lynch.
No, not
GWS got rid of Jeremy Cameron.
And what did they give up for him?
Geelong gave him 3 first-round draft picks.
First 3-round picks. That's all I'm asking. Fucking don't be the politician here, right? Forget about everything. I'm saying. What are you looking at, man? Are you trying to look at the chat, trying to work it out?
No,
what would you do?
No. Well, you're asking me a question.
You would have to give up something.
All right. Well, my question would be: do you want a defender, or what would you be wanting?
You don't know anything about.
Can
football.
I say what I want?
It's not play. We're not going to want your players.
I do.
No, you're not going to get. They're not swapping their players.
I want a player. I want a player in the first round. If you're going to give me a player with only a first-round draft pick, I want the goalie.
I want the
goalie. I want the goalie. He's won a flag, and he's got the CUNT in him. No, I'd take the goalie in a heartbeat.
It's not even getting on the ground, bro. I would want 3 first-round picks for Curnow, full stop.
I want the
unless
goalie.
You could give me 2 first rounds and maybe
the goalie,
kind of a fringe player, maybe. But it would have to be in that kind of It's like saying to get Dacos, what would you have to give up? The same. You have to give up 3 first-round picks easy.
Right, Dacos is like 5 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And the goalie's cooked, bro. You're not going to get a fucking injury.
I'd take the goalie. I'd take him.
No, not for that.
You can take him, but nah, I don't want him.
You can all say you wouldn't take. I'd take him if he's fit. I'm taking him.
How old is he, man? He's barely
like
getting 28. On the ground now. Hey?
He's like 28, bro.
I think he's older.
No, he's like 28.
Well, Peter's got a good one in the chat, Ned Long.
I guess it's like take Stringer. Like Stringer went to GWS.
Stringer's a bum, bro. He had 1 good season. He's a bum.
No, well, he's won a premiership.
It's all right, the package.
He's done all right. He's done all right for himself. And he went to GWS.
Anyway, you're all. I can't even get like fucking. Thanks to Oz for the JP membership. He's a star. He's always on there. Carl's is on. mate, good evening. Anyway, that's all I'm saying is to get that sort of player, it's 3 first rounders, man, and that's what you would have to. You've got one, and you would have to manufacture another 2, yeah. So you would have to trade to get thing, and and I'm honest, man. Everyone's gettable at Carlton except for Wiedering for me. That's it. Everyone, if there's enough of a deal, you take it. You take it. You can't be in love with a player that you don't want to get rid of him. Yeah, everyone has to. And as I said, Collingwood did it with they just signed bloody Grundy for 7 years and they got rid of him straight away and paid half his fucking fee.
Didn't they get rid of him in that same season? Didn't they also send was it Phillips to Hawthorn, and he was in career best form as well? Yep.
And Stevens they got rid of.
No, and they got rid of that Phillips guy, and he went to Hawthorn.
Phillips, Stevens, and they won a premiership. So, sometimes you got to do.
I won't see a premiership in the next 5 years, so it doesn't matter. On that note, I'll let someone else come on.
Thanks, mate. Enjoy.
Oh boy,
that's a good chat.
Boy.
I will before we go on to the next game. I've got another discussion point that I think we need to talk about. Stephen May and Gawn.
Oh, yeah, we forgot
So
about that.
what we'll do is, Manny, we'll get into this and then we'll get into the Collingwood game, yeah? Stephen May and Gawn, did you see what happened at the end? Or because you didn't go to the game, but did you see it on the screen?
I saw what he did. I saw what Gawn did.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon? You think that's a good thing? You think it's a bad thing? You think he should have waited? What?
Look, I think at the end of the day, you've got to show respect to your captain, yeah. And you can't take anything away from Gawn because Gawn was one of the best on the ground. Now his way of thinking was, do I kick the ball and wish for the best that one of my players is going to mark it, or do I try and go deep? And now, but at the end of the day, that kind of behaviour should not be happening on the ground.
Sorry, Manny. He was called to play on. That's why I think he rushed it a bit. So he was called to play on. So he did rush it a bit.
And you know what? When you've got 38 seconds on the clock, you'd want to speed things up anyway, yeah? But I think at the end of the day, you've got to not show that kind of behaviour on the field. You know what I mean? It's not professional. But then again, that May bloke, he's a bit of a toss spot. I remember when he turned around and he said, we're better than Collingwood. We should have beaten Collingwood. Well, they didn't beat Collingwood, and Collingwood went on and won the premiership. So you can shove this up your fucking collar. But at the end of the day, on the ground, you got to sort of be professional about it. You might be upset with your player, you might be upset with your teammate, but you know what? When you go into the dressing room, it's open for interpretation.
And that's fair enough. And everyone's got their opinions. I love tough players. I don't mind if you get on there and you tell him as it is, and then they had a bit of a scuffle. They're two people that want to win. Nothing. But before we go on, I've got someone special coming on, right? Do you want to see this person?
Yeah, special, right?
Welcome, Matula!
Hello.
Hello, Matula.
How are we all?
Good.
That's good.
There you go. So we've got a rose among the thorns.
Yeah, that was thanks to Matula and your fantastic husband there for building this for us. That stays proudly on my desk.
Thank you. Yeah, absolute pleasure. Rocco, I remember you always used to say a saying, and this is to Mark, if you can't dazzle them with your knowledge, baffle them with your bullshit.
Yes, I do say that.
And unfortunately, yeah. Oh, Mark, what can I say?
That's okay, Matula. I appreciate that.
That one, mate.
I've met you, and you're such a lovely person, but geez, the stuff you say is just crazy.
I guess we've got to keep the show going, Matula. We've got to keep it going somehow.
I know you really do have the rivalry going, but I was in the kitchen preparing dinner, and have some spuds here. And I have here Zach Merritt, number 1.
She's got her own team, mate.
Number 2. Peter Wright, 5 metre potato peel.
It's a 2 metre.
2, no, yeah, well, yeah, 2. Guelphy, I could keep going. Because we were pretty bad, but you guys were pretty shit too. So
really? Okay, that's fair enough, Mattula. I thought we contested
and you're right. And Mattula, I know you didn't go to the game for your own personal reasons, you know, but you didn't go, and I know you go to all the games and that, but yeah, I mean, they could say whatever they want about coming back, Mattula, and all that. Yep. But far out. They scored 1 goal in the first quarter while we scored like 30-something, 38 points or whatever. So, you know, at the end of the day, mate, you talk about, you let it go. What do you want us to do? All right, so you made a bit of a comeback. But at the end of the day, the way you started that game was disgraceful, mate. Like, let's be honest, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But it wasn't watching it from home, it just didn't look, I don't know, it was just a very ordinary game. No, the start was good, but then typical Carlton, they sort of fade away. You know, players take a little nana nap because, you know, it's just, it's not like that. But
first quarter was really good, man. It was as good as we've played in that first quarter, you know. But then, like, both teams, like, I'm not just saying Carlton, like, even Essendon, man, they just, like, man, the targets we missed, like, you might go, you came back, but if you look at the mistakes we done, I think it was 74 to 84, like we were just missing targets, both teams, you know, it just, it became close at the end, scrappy, so maybe that makes it a bit exciting, but the quality of the game,
it's changing, isn't it? It's changing, Mattula. It used to be years ago the rivalry between, you know, these two clubs, and I think it's changed a little bit due to the skill level and so forth. So hopefully we can you know, change it in the future. But it wasn't really.
We're both pretty average at the moment. I don't have us making the 8. I think we'll finish 10th. I just, I don't know. We just don't look connected. I don't know. There's just so many things I think wrong at the club, and the sooner they address it, and hopefully, you know, I don't know, we can see an improvement, because, you know, I ain't getting any younger. I'd like to see a victory. I feel like I'm losing my son with Carlton because he's getting frustrated. I've got my niece.
Don't do it, Hollywood.
I'm not. I promise. I won't. He'll keep coming, but my niece comes with us. I got her from young because her parents Collingwood, so I switched them to Carlton. So it's just it's hard times, but I'm hoping it turns soon. Because I just love my football. That's my happy place. And let's hope.
Fine. You're looking fine, Mattula. You're looking fine. You're looking quite refreshed and so forth.
Had a hard couple of weeks. So had a hard couple of weeks. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But I just wanted to come and
at least you got a small victory on Sunday night. I mean, at the end of the day, it's better than losing. I'll tell you that much. Like, it's better than it would have been worse if we had lost. And take it. Are you gonna come Sunday, or are you still gonna?
It depends. Just sort of want to keep an eye on Mum now, because we had this with my dad yesterday, so I just want to check in on her. She's doing good. She's doing okay, but I might probably watch it maybe at home, but hopefully then I can just, you know, feel okay to stuck under. I love it.
Before you go, flag prime Manny, Greco to Greco. What do we got? What do we got here? What are we going to say here? Who's your favorite Greek?
We love Manny because he's talking so much knowledge lately. I don't know what the hell is happening. He's actually making a lot of sense, and he sticks up for Carlton because he's a Carlton supporter.
My wife's Carlton. Yeah, my wife's Carlton, so it's tough because
you've got a soft spot for us. So I know you're sort of soft, quietly.
Well, you know, my every time Collingwood plays in the grand final or any finals, my wife always decks the house out, in the Magpie colours. So, and unfortunately, she's stuck with 3 Collingwood ferals in the house.
Yeah.
So it's hard, but deep down she's Carlton, but she always supports us. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for Carlton. I do.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
But
fantastic.
Can I just ask Manny just a little question, if I can?
Yeah.
Yeah, all I want to know, as what Seba said before, I've got a feeling that Collingwood are going to probably make it deep into September. Who would be the team that you would feel more threatened if you were to play in the grand final?
I like it. Good question. I like it.
Geelong.
Yeah. I thought.
Geelong.
I think very, very well with you.
Yeah, I agree, actually. Geelong. I mean, Brisbane, if they get there, they've done it last year. They're going to be dangerous again. But you're right. Geelong at the G could easily do it.
They seem to be a team that, even though they've brought in some lot of changes, they've still got the finals experience there. So. Yeah, Geelong will be one team. Brisbane. I mean, look, if it's Brisbane, I'm confident we're going to beat Brisbane quite comfortably. But if it's Geelong, it's tough,
Yeah, and Adelaide, would you be?
Look, at the moment, Adelaide seems to be doing really, really well, but I don't think Adelaide is. I don't think there's something not. I mean, look, they've got the tall forwards, that's for sure. But no, I don't fear Adelaide. It's Geelong. It's always the Melbourne teams that you want to fear when it's at the G. So
it's probably the lack of experience I have. But I think they've got a really, really, really good forward line. I think they'll match you guys very well. It'll be a bit of a shoot.
Let's hope so. I
would like to see though.
Final. I don't want you guys to win by a lot because.
I'd like to. I'd like to sort of hope that in the next 10 years, I don't care who wins, and I really mean this. I really don't care who wins. I'd like to see a Collingwood Carlton grand final.
There'll be riots. That
would be epic. That would be epic. I
don't care what anyone says. I don't care if it's Essendon, Collingwood, Essendon, Richmond, Carlton, Essendon. The biggest grand final ever would be a Carlton Collingwood grand final. And I reckon I'm lucky because I'm a Legends member, but I reckon, mate, pray you're going to get tickets because I reckon they'll be hanging out of the rafters for that. And there might be a riot in there. I'm telling you, it would be awesome. But I don't think I could handle it either, just quietly.
No.
Yeah. And I just thank Rocco for lining up for a bobblehead for me.
100%, man. We got it. We got it ready for you. So if we don't see you Sunday, which is fine, we'll catch up soon enough and we'll get that off to you.
Well, Paul lives around the corner from me.
Oh, there you go.
Because he's
I'll get him to drop it off.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, well, he'll get him to drop it off.
Mark, stop pissing me off.
I've got to piss somebody off. I've got to piss somebody off, Matula.
Nah, it's all good. Thanks, Matula. You're a star for jumping on.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
How good was that? Hey, listen, we've got someone else who's been waiting for a while here, so I want to get him on here. He's a new person here. Mick Scata. No, it's Skaka.
No, Mick Saka.
If you've heard me, I keep stirring you up with that name, but we know who you are. How you going, mate?
I'm very good, man.
Very good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can definitely hear you.
Not too bad.
Who do you follow, Mick?
Who do I follow?
Yeah, Essendon.
The Pies, mate.
The Pies.
First of all, I just want to apologise to you, Rocco, because during that 24-hour stream that you had, I was trolling the fuck out of you. And
I can't remember. I mean,
I'm totally different. Yeah, I noticed. I was when I'm doing the chats, I'm a totally different person. I'm pretty grounded now that I'm talking to you. But
it's all good, brother.
No,
it's all a bit of fun, man. It's all a bit of fun.
It is. I love. That's why I love the concept of this. The banter. It's unbelievable, mate. It's like me. It's like when I talk to my mates, listening to you guys. It's the same thing, man.
That's good, man. That's good, man. I appreciate you jumping on too, man. I want to hear what you got to say. Fellow Collingwood supporter with flagged by Manny there, man. We can actually, while you're there, we can talk about your game if you want.
Yeah, why not?
All right, and then if you got any questions, but we'll put it up because you did have a game there, and it actually was a very good game to watch. And here it is, man. 10-11 71, 11-6 72. It went back and forth. Melbourne could have won it. You could have run away with it, man. Things happened. There were incidences. As you can see, Dacos on the screen there, mate. He was well held for a little while. And then, for about a half, but then he still ended up getting his goals and doing that.
I think it was probably the second quarter is where I think he held Nick Dacos.
He only had 7 up to half time, Manny, but he did a really good job. But the problem is, how long can you hold him for? That's the issue with Dacos.
That's right. Yeah.
What do you reckon, Mick? Did you go to the game?
Well, look, no, I didn't. I was in Thailand. That's where I was trolling you. I was on holiday in Thailand on the balcony of my hotel room.
Whereabouts did you go?
I was in Phuket, Kathatani Beach Resort.
Nice.
So I was on the balcony and just having a drink and enjoying the legal green stuff which I haven't tried for 5 years until then. That's why I had the courage to really troll the fuck out of you. But going on Dacos, I look at it this way. All right. So what's his name? Langdon. He only had 4 posies. Yeah. He usually plays on the wing, and if he played on the wing, he would have gotten about probably 20 posies and been rather influential. Dacos still got 20 posies, still got our most inside 50s, kicked a goal. So I look at it as a win. If Langdon wasn't tagging Dacos, he would have got another 10 posies, and Langdon would have got a few more posies. It would have evened itself out. And at the end of the day, Dacos gets tagged, and look who gets 30 posies, Pendles. And Sidey kicks ass. So got no problem with Dacos. I love it when teams try and tag him.
Yeah, and the thing is that, for example, we did the tagging roll on merit and we win the game. So you say that's a win, If you lose the game, I suppose then you look at it and you go, it might have worked, But you win the game, it didn't work, So that's the way you look at it. And you're probably right, because that's been brought up now that, if he wasn't tagging him, he probably would have got his 20 possessions off the wing, maybe kicked the goal, it could have been the difference. So, it's a good point, actually. It's a very good point. Manny, you saw that. What do you reckon?
Well, look, we dominated in disposals, but having said that, it just comes down to efficiency. And we were, they had 54 inside 50s to our 45 inside 50s, but it just comes down to, accurate kicking. Were we lucky? I think we were lucky. I think Melbourne dominated, especially in the last 10 minutes. They dominated in the stoppages. They could have actually taken that game apart if they wanted to. But I think it just comes down to the fact that we've got, as McRae says, it's the way we set up the team, and it's about making sure that we keep our players in positions. So it's not like we're trying to shut the game down. We're actually forcing the other teams to actually attack and to try and, we force them with those long kicks. And that's where we've been very, very successful at the moment, is the way we've been able to intercept. But,
How in the back line was just intercepting everything, wasn't it?
Yeah. And, 26 disposals, 12 contested and 14 interceptions. I mean, that's amazing. That's Jeremy Howe. Let's rewind a couple of years ago. So, the bloke at the moment, it's, and take away, you talk about the age, we're talking about the start, about the geriatrics, but I can tell you right now, they are, they're well-oiled machine, and we're very, very, very lucky. And we've got that game and a half now advantage. We've got the bye this week, and I think it's a bye that we need. I think it gives us a chance to recuperate a couple of players. We're hoping that the Goey might be coming in the next couple of weeks. That'll be good to see. But Langdon, he was there, and he was, it reminded me of the old style football, where you used to always have a player that would be tagging another player. You'd be basically on him. And I think Dake was a bit lucky, and some of the umpiring was pretty average. Some of the umpiring, and that's, you could say, we were lucky. We'll take the luck. We'll take the win. So, but you can't take anything from Melbourne, because Melbourne, for a team that started pretty average, they're actually not a bad side. So, I'm happy with the win. And
Have you got a question, Liam or Mark, for Mick about the pies?
I got the one that I mentioned to you guys in the chat about Dacos. Do you guys think that how they umpired that tag and it changed in the second half? Because there's been a bit of talk about it. Even Simon Goodwin, Melbourne coach, came out, mentioned it. Did you guys notice any changes in how it was officiated from first half to second half?
Mick, you saw
it?
Yeah.
Sorry. It was obvious that someone from Collingwood had a chat to the umpires. I don't understand. Like, Langdon was all over it, yeah? They can fix the problem easy. Pay the free kicks at the start, and then Langdon's not going to scrag him the whole day. But instead, they let him scrag, and they were missing free kicks. And then later on, Dacos gets a Tiggy Touchwood free kick, which wasn't there, but you could tell the umpires paid it because they missed out on like about 3 or 4 before that. So, yeah. It was obvious we spoke to the umpires at one stage.
Yeah, there was something definitely changed. And, to tell the truth, like, me, I hate all your Collingwood scumbags, but he was getting scragged in that. I was loving it, right? But he was getting scragged that first half. And like, I was getting frustrated, thinking, imagine that's happening to one of our players. He's just not letting him get to the ball. And they definitely changed it a bit.
And Nick Dacos, his style of play, he relies quite a bit on the hit outs. That's his bread and butter. Yeah, he relies on the hit outs, and our hit outs, I think it was 47-21. I mean, Melbourne was dominating in the hit outs. You know that the moment they're going to be dominating there, it's just they didn't actually take advantage of that, because had they taken advantage of that, I reckon it would have been at least a 3 to 4 goal win to Melbourne. But having said that, we took advantage of the fact that they didn't take advantage of those opportunities. So,
hey, Mick, Melbourne had some chances in the end. I think it was that French. He marked and then played on, and then ran in, kicked it into the point. They panicked a bit. They had their chances at the end, but. Yeah. It is what it is, man. If you panic and you're coming from behind, you don't take those chances. And then Collingwood went back. You got who's the bloke who come back from injury there?
Jeremy Howe.
No, the forward. What's his name?
Embry.
McStay.
McStay. He comes
yeah.
back and kicks a couple of goals, and kicked took a good mark at the end and kicked the goal. So unfortunately, he's won the game. I won't lie. I was going for Melbourne all the way. Even though I picked Collingwood, I was hoping Melbourne would come. What did you think about, we were talking about this before, Mick, What did you think about what May and Gawn did at the end? Do you think that's good to see that sort of like, you know, emotion on the ground, or should that be kept off the ground?
You know what? I really don't have an opinion on it. I really don't care. They got history with that sort of stuff. I felt sorry for Max Gawn in a way because he's an absolute monster.
No, he's a gun.
Sorry?
But what if it was your players? What if it was your players? Would you like to see that?
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. Yeah.
You wouldn't like it. All right.
Yeah. Like I remember once, last year, I think it was, Maynard did this absolute shank that cost us a goal. All right, it probably wasn't as in a situation like it was the other day, but all the players started laughing at him, and it was just funny, you know. It's like, all right, I shanked it, and they all just had a laugh and reset. Let's go again, yeah. I think that's the kind of culture we've got. Melbourne's got a strange culture, man. I don't know. There's something dark going on in that football team, and look, it wasn't a good look, but I just look at it like Maxi and May, they both had great games, and they were just frustrated. They were so close to beating us, and they lost. And it's just the way it is, and they just couldn't help showing their emotions. But I wouldn't like to see that if it was our team.
Yeah, I'm a bit. What about you, Mark? You haven't spoken about this. You saw that, you know, when May and Gawn had a bit of a scuffle right at the end there, you know, and you could see Gawn push him away, and he was a bit frustrated, you know. Did you like that? Would you like your players, even though it's the captain, to go up there and go, mate, what are you doing, mate? Like, or would you want to wait till you get off the ground for that?
Look, I mean, I think it just comes down to what May said to Gawn directly after the game. Obviously, being the captain, and you know, he fucked up really at the end of the day. Like, you know, he cost the game in some ways. So what did May say to him? What was the
well, no, he won't say.
We don't know that. We don't know that. Oh, sorry, mate, you fucked up. You know, and Gawn would have just been pissed off and said,
no, I don't think he said, sorry, mate, you fucked up. I think he said something like, what the fuck, man? Did you kick the ball over there? Why did you rush?
Yeah.
He would have said something like that.
If he did say that, if May did say that to his captain, you know, obviously Gawn's got every case to answer, but maybe not, you know, after the game. But yeah, I just believe maybe it was exactly what's been said to the captain at the end of the day. That's the theory of it, because all players get upset in the game. So this comes down to because that's pretty harsh, man. Like for a captain to push another player out the way and say, "Oh, the way I saw it was like, fuck off, mate." Like,
yeah, he would have been.
That's not under 14 football, you know what I mean? So it comes down to what would have been. Yeah,
he would have been spewing. And Carl's is right. I can understand the emotion of a player, the adrenaline, especially after a loss. But it wasn't always Gawn's fault. Sort of out of the fucking. I sorted out in that. Wow, straight to the point. The fucking club room. Gawn obviously his shout. Yeah, and you're kind of right. You know, like Gawn would have found shit out. I don't really care. To tell you the truth, you do it on the ground, you do it off the ground. I don't care, man. Like, you should be able to say it, but you're probably right. It depends on what he said to him. Just before I let you go, Mickey boy.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? Where Pie's going to finish 1 and 2?
Look. The lid is firmly on. Yeah. Despite some of my trolling, like I think I said to you in the chat. Give us the cup now and stuff like that. I was just fucking around. But no, the lid's on. I've been watching football for too long, man, to start celebrating from now, man. All that matters is you're firing right at the last quarter of the year. That's all that fucking matters, man. You know, saw Sydney last year. Like, our game plan looks impenetrable at the moment. Like, it seems every other team's struggling to break the fly trap. But, mate, these things get worked out. You know, there's a lot of smart coaches out there, so the lid's firmly on. And we've been okay with injuries. We've been resting players. But, you don't know, mate. You could cop a big injury plague later on if Darcy Cameron goes down or if Jeremy Howe goes down. You know, suddenly it's a different story. So, you know, if Jeremy Howe goes down, we've got to rely on fucking Darcy more. You know.
Yeah. And he's not that sort of player that's going to take both. You know, you need, like, the reason that Darcy Moore gets off the leash a little bit is because of Howe, you know, because he's that intercept marker there and he goes back and takes those marks. Yeah. So look, at the end of the day, I hope you go out in straight sets, let's be honest. But at the moment, you are looking, hey, you know, you say about the old team, and I was stirring you guys about we did it in 95. We were the oldest club. Everyone said, oh, you're not going to win it. And we were the oldest club. We won it. Geelong did it only a few years ago. It was almost identical. They won 16 games, their last 16 games to win a premiership. Oldest team in the competition, and they did it again. So, yeah, you're looking. But as I said, hopefully it all falls apart for you. What do you want me to say?
I ask you what I hope for you guys, but no worries.
Yeah, I know. Well, you don't have to hope. You can already see what's happening to us, bro. So, but I'll keep fighting, mate. I'll keep fighting on this channel.
Nah, I love your work, man. I love your work. I looked at some of your old videos. Like, I love the history of footy, and I've seen some of your interviews. I saw the one with John Nichols, where you went to his house and interviewed him. Some great insights there. So,
yeah, 100%.
You do some great work, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I went to John Nichols' house. I was a little bit of awe when I went there. I went inside his house, and he brought us inside his house, and I'm sitting there going, fuck, this is John Nichols, man. Like, do you understand? This is John Nichols, you know, like it. So I've been privileged over the last legend. Yeah. Look, and I've met some great Collingwood players too along the way and spoken to them, mate. And when you meet these players that have done a lot, man, I've been privileged to talk to these people. Yeah, before I let you go, the biggest one for me was when I met Stick Skernaham and I interviewed him. Yeah, so he walked in because who I was with, Vince, let him know that we're doing an interview. It's Rocco. So he walks in. I was at the club. He walks in. I've got everything set up. He walks in. He walks up to me, puts out his hand, and he goes, "How you going, Rocco?" And I went, "Fuck, he knows my name." You know, I was in awe. I didn't know what to say for the first 5 minutes. You know, like, the bloke I idolized knows my name, and it was unreal. So, and look, I love doing this stuff on the channel, man. I love guys like you coming on, and the reason we did Fourever Rivals is so that we can get the other clubs involved, mate. And I'm wrapped you jumped on, man. I appreciate it. And don't be sorry about giving it on the chat, man. You just keep at it, mate. We can take it here at the Jumper Punch.
All good.
Thanks, brother.
All right. I'll catch us later.
We'll catch up soon.
Saka. Love it, man.
All right. Now, listen, we've got a few people in the chat there. Now, sorry you're waiting, but I'm just putting you in order of what you come on. So if you're waiting there, keep waiting, watch the show, and I'll get you on, right? So this was the next person. Scotty Tompkins. He was the next one on there. We love the Scotty. How are you, Scotty, mate? Scotty is... As I said to you today, we were having a chat on the thing, and I said to you today, Scotty, like the Godfather said, you're part of the family now. You're part of the family, mate. So how you going, mate?
Yeah, great, thank you. And thank you very much to Mick for coming on. It's great to have your debut, and growing the community a bit. It's great, and sounds like a great man.
He does.
Yeah.
What have we got to say? Have we got a question? Are we gonna debate one of those questions we asked before, or what are we gonna do? I love your insights.
Well, I actually wanted to I hope you indulge me for a minute. I wanted to bring something up that I've actually listened to twice throughout the week, and it kind of brings into a more of a high level topic. But one of the greatest players to ever put on the monogram, a player by the name of Jed Lamb, was interviewed on a podcast earlier this week. I implore everybody watching right now to go on the Steak Lad Experience with Jed Lamb and give that a listen to, because he's honestly an incredible man. And as proud as I was of him for playing for my team, I'm much more proud that he's a senior coach at the Warragul Football Club.
How is Warragul going?
Hey, look, they're middle of the table, but
they're a bit like Carlton, all right.
But even in the podcast, some of the things that he did with the boys on a preseason camp, some of the things that they tackled kind of between each other. He said after that experience, he wouldn't care if they didn't win a game for the rest of the year. And if you know anything about Jed Lamb's pretty horrific upbringing, you would half understand what I'm talking about.
I don't want to get into it here, but you listen to his podcast, because I haven't listened to it yet, but you said something on there, and his upbringing, far out, man. Like,
yeah,
I'm telling you guys, if I give you 100 guesses, you won't guess what his upbringing was like. So it's absolutely a fascinating story. And Mars's messaged Jed Lamb, and he said he'll come onto the show. So we're going to try to organise for him to get onto the Jumper Punch, right? Jed Lamb, the great game against Sicily that day in Hawthorn was one of the great performances. Remember
never live that down. And Sicily still has to get permission to get out of his back pocket every weekend to go to a game.
Yeah, 100%, man. That was great.
Yeah. But one of the things that he said, because of don't want to spoil anything, but because of the horrific circumstances of his earlier life, he's one of 8 children, and because of that, they've all kind of gone a certain way where he hasn't, and he's really made something of his life. Yep. And he said that the most important thing to him is being surrounded by good people. And that's just why I wanted to give everybody at the Jumper Punch, Fourever rivals, and everyone else in our community a massive rap, because I love you all, and you are all great, great people. And I honestly have a better life because of all of you.
You're going to make me cry, man.
Beautiful.
Rocco, Mark, Liam, and especially you, Manny. I said it before in the first episode this year that I love you, and I mean it.
Yeah. We're all good. We love a little bit of banter.
I think it's the banter's there, and it's good banter. And you know, we have had our differences, but it's always good to put those differences aside. And we all do this because we enjoy it, and we all have fun. And you know, there are those moments where frustration can kick in, and you know, at the moment, you know, I'm a happy chappy at the Collingwood Football Club,
as you should be,
as I am. Yes, so
and we can feel it coming from you, Manny. You've been on fire tonight.
He is, man.
Well, you know, it's like if you're at school, you know, the principal pulls you up and says, "Hey, listen, need to pull your socks up." So
you're a dickhead.
So my principal pulled me up. He said, "You got to pull your socks up." So, you know, I thought I started giving myself a little bit more time, because it always used to be rush. But now I sort of, you know, plus I've got my boy who gets involved quite a bit now. So he does a lot of writing for me, and he does a lot of research for me. So that gives me a bit more time to sit back and have a bit of a read and sort of come on the show with having some form of understanding. I mean, I'm never going to fully understand footy, but I'm getting there.
I'll tell you what, Manny, your young fella's got a bright future ahead of him if he can make you come off as well as you have the last couple of weeks.
He loves his dad. He's making him look good. He writes all the stats. I've been giving it to Manny, but he's coming up with good, and so is Mark. Mark brings a lot of discussion into the group. We can't all agree on everything, you know. So, and Liam, but look, I do appreciate that, man. And we were talking about this yesterday. I can't remember when we were doing our chats and that, but I said, I started this whole channel just for something to do, and now we've built this massive community. Everyone knows each other. Like Matula comes on, and you know, Scotty, now personal friend, and then all these bloody Enzo and everybody on here, man. And it seriously makes footy a lot better. It does make footy a lot better. You know what I mean? It's more than a game. So yeah, no, good stuff.
It goes beyond us, you know, Carlton sickos. We've got. I never thought that I'd be laughing with the scum in the chat.
Yeah.
I never thought that I'd experience reasonable Richmond supporters like Quinny and Liam. And it's this culture that we've curated here, but it comes from the top, of course, you four. But the fact that we can say whatever we want in chat and everybody is equal, in a way, it makes it the most accepting community kind of in this space, which I love.
Yeah, that's what
everyone can be themselves.
Brilliant, Scott. Well said.
We got the best chat, man. Like, I seriously sit here sometimes, and if you notice, sometimes I'm just looking at the chat. It's like its own little life force, man. It goes. And look, you know, like I know, honestly, I know sometimes Gunners gets to you guys because he's a very witty person. He's very good. But what he says here is, look, honestly, TJP got me more into AFL than before, so shout out to you. Also, Manny, deep down, I really love that bloke. I just find it hilarious. And look, if we can all take it as a little bit of like banter, we're in a better place, man. And this is why we brought this together, man, because I don't think there was enough banter before between the clubs, you know. So it is a bit of a love fest here. I'm just like, I don't know what to do anymore, man.
It's love speech. There's no hate speech. It's all love speech.
Even No Regrets has got the bloody love hearts out. What's going on, mate?
Oh, boy. Right in the field.
No regrets. Who'd have thought?
I remember No Regrets years ago, mate. We just used to give it to each other, and then he finally comes on, and then you know what? When you meet people, it's completely different, man. So, and you find out what they are, and it's good. And then we got we got little Liam, man. We're building a little terror in there, man. I'm scared to see what he turns into when he's 18, mate. Because if he turns anything like me, we are stuffed, man. Because he's already half like me. So and then like last night, for example, thanks to Peter Bluebagger, and also Saif, they come on first time, man. And I love getting the community on here and have their. Because not many people have a place to have their say about footy and what they think, yeah? So it's good, man. What about Liam? You haven't said much. You got something to say? Because I know Scotty loves you, man. You see the way he talks about you off camera, mate. He loves you. What do you got to say about Scotty? Have you got a question for him or anything?
I haven't got a question prepared at the minute. That's just poor form. Nah. It's wholesome content, mate. It's good to hear. That's why we're. It's good to come on and have a bit of fun. But at the end of the day, we're all here because we love football, even if it is different teams. Yeah, he's summed it up really well, as Scotty, mate. I don't know.
He spoke
I can't add much more. I'm feeling the love, boys.
And you know, Scotty, Liam's coming down next month, is it?
I know.
3 weeks.
He's going to regret it, but I can't wait.
We are definitely all catching up, and we're going to do something, man. So we're definitely all catching up,
boys.
Might have to do a show in the studio.
Yeah, we will do a show, all 4 of us in the studio, so we can really punch on. So that's it.
I'll bring some gloves then, all right?
Yeah. I've got 2 sets here, so we can punch.
We've gone straight from love to boxing. All right, I'll get it.
Yeah. Just be wary, Liam, because Rocco wears padding, so you'll have to go extra hard.
Yeah, well, the padding isn't something I wear; it's just something I accumulate with all the food I eat. And we've got Andy, one of the greats, from Great Show. Like one of the greats.
Blues as well. They're part of the same.
They are
cinematic universe. They're the same as us. It's awesome. I love it.
I call the Monday Blue our sister, I'm going to say our brother station, because we're equal, man. I love the Monday Blues more than, mate. I just love getting together with them after the games, man. We are just like, and me and Andy, we do that. unfiltered over summer, man, and so it's great, man. Yeah, the Monday Blues, always that's so true, man. We've been attacked a few times by other people, that, Scotty. Monday Blues have always had our back, mate, always. So that's the main thing. Yeah. All right, man. Great you came on.
Yep, thank you very much. I'll hopefully be seeing everybody on Sunday. I've got the big Western Derby on earlier in the day. Jed Lamb will be coaching the Warragul Gulls against those dogs, the Druin Hawks.
The dogs.
Mate, if you know anything about Druin, man, they're about they're less than 5 Ks away from Warragul, but it's a different planet they live on.
Oh man, so the country football, man, that's like man, the real rivalries there too. It's like the old VFL rivalry, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of, I think, maybe I'm actually interested to hear Liam's insight into kind of, country league or rural football or whatever, but I know it's a completely different beast over in WA, but at least here, especially over the last 10 years, the quality has just nosedived. In every single league, that you've got your top 4 teams that absolutely demolish the other 6. There's I won't say anything specific, but when it comes to salary cap rorting, it is worse than black market tobacco. It's insane. There's one team who is about 25 kilometers east of Warragul that rorts their soft cap by giving their players cows, but they claim it's all on the books. But there's still big turnouts to, Poowong versus Nyora, fucking Nilmadanum versus Bullen. And one of the great rivalries is Garfield and Bunyip, and they're total feral pits, but they're the 2 towns next to each other. Unfortunately, they don't play in the same league anymore, but there's that bit of heart and soul in country footy that I love. Is it like that, Liam? Because I've got some mates that have moved over to Perth in the last couple of years that have described it to me, and from what I know, there's 13 divisions in every league. Teams will travel 4 hours for a game every weekend. Is it actually like that?
Depends where you are. There's a few different country leagues. So the one that I focus on, probably the area where I was the other week, Bunbury, the Southwest Football League. That's a really competitive one. So you've got Bunbury, you've got Bustleton, you've got Margaret River, I believe, are the top team, or they have been for a couple years. A lot of those boys come down and play at West Perth. I think the biggest thing as far as travel, I don't know if they're traveling 4 hours to a match. I think that's a bit much. But I think the biggest thing that's really good about it is what you're talking about before. It's the community down there. It's a really big thing for them down there. Everyone in the towns go. I spent a little bit of time up in Northern, which is a country town, maybe 2 hours out of Perth. And same thing, everyone goes down and watches those teams. It's a big event. It's a real community thing, and it's good. So it's nice to get that sort of support behind local footy. As far as the talent and how they get players, I don't really know enough about that to comment. I apologize, but country footy is really good. But from what I understand, from what I've seen, it is pretty high quality compared to here, we've probably got 13 divisions that play Perth Metropolitan. The standard of country footy it's pretty high quality. I reckon there'd be close to some A-grade teams up here. I don't know why that is. I don't know if people travel out there to play, but yeah. Yeah,
we have multitude of reserve, VFL reserve quality players that get paid to come and play out here. Funnily enough, there's the Neerim South Cats. They're literally the Geelong of the EDFL. The real EDFL, the Allenbank District Football League, not that bullshit Essendon one everyone craps on about. But the Neerim South Cats have ex-Collingwood players, ex-Richmond Hawthorn players. They've got a star-studded list as well as their homegrown talent. Somehow they get away with it. It's just a funny little thing, but it is that kind of community aspect of it which I love. And
yeah,
I was at Long Warry versus Traff on Saturday afternoon, and there was a player that got blue carded, and I don't know if that's like just an EDFL thing or basically he bumped a guy off the ball. It was pretty bad, and there was a massive brawl. 200 people get up to the fence, and this guy has to spend 15 minutes off the bench, and he's just getting fucking rimmed. Like, and then had to get 2 blokes to walk him back to his car after the game. Like, it's passionate. I love it.
Hasn't changed, mate.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Yeah, it hasn't changed, hasn't it? Country football. Just
that's kind of stayed the same, you know, like the VFL. That's on this time, you know, how do you say it? Like time is frozen for them, you know, and it's still that tough, you know, like footy and you know, people who have got a job and then they go and train twice a week and then they get to the footy on the Saturday or Sunday and they play their heart out, where then the AFLs turns into this, you know, it's turned into this Hollywood, you know, kind of game, and everything's prestige and that. So yeah, I don't mind a bit of a local footy, man. It's good to get back to that, back to your roots.
Back to your roots.
But that did make me think of one thing though that Scotty was talking about, because we actually had a team that did that with paying players to play it when I was in Resies at Bayswater. It would have been like 18 or 19 playing in the seniors, and This is their reserves team, by the way. We're like C3 or something, which is like the 10th division. They had like South Fremantle players, who's a waffle team, coming in and playing against us. I remember I was in the ruck. I was playing like this monster dude, and I was like, "What am I going to do?" And then after the game, they're like, "Oh yeah, he's played a couple games at South Rio this year." It's like, "What the fuck's he doing against me then, eh?" Like,
yeah.
Did you do all right?
Liam Gatha and Corumburra are really bad for that. They'll get actual VFL listed players to play. I think it's minimum of 2 games or like 4 quarters over a season, just so they qualify to play in finals.
Exactly.
Yeah. Liam Gatha is Dyson Heppel and Jared Roughhead, by the way. They run that town.
Yeah, I knew a bloke who used to live in Coal Creek.
Oh yeah.
In Corumburra, so
yeah.
he followed around there quite a bit. Yeah,
so Scotty, Warragul, mate. Warragul, how far? Where from the Melbourne Central?
Gold Vegas it's a solid hour east of the CBD, which means, you know, I drive a good 2.5 hours every weekend to make a game, which shames me when some people live 15 minutes away and can't be bothered to make it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. But that's just because it's like it's a hobby, it's a passion of mine, so I don't mind doing it. I just wish that, you know, you can't have absolutely everything, but there are, you know, rural memberships for your clubs, but that's 3 home games a season. If I'm coming from, you know, over 100 kilometers away and I'm paying for a home and away membership, I wish there was some kind of concession, at least for parking. Like, it's fucked.
Yeah.
They don't care, man. It's all about the cash, man. They don't care, man. They're just trying to get pumped.
I wish there was a fucking Ampol near where I lived, so I could get what?
Yeah. So you can get that free fucking fuel or get that discount fuel. Yeah, nah. There is Ampols, man. I don't see them anywhere, man. That's the worst sponsorship we've got. Fucking shit house. They give $20 vouchers. We give more for the Sporting Globe.
Sporting Globe, #1 protest zone in Melbourne.
Yes. #1 protest zone. Go down. Make sure you protect yourself. It's good because the Sporting Globe's right at the front, so you can quickly run in from the car park. You don't have to run through the shopping centre. No, it's been great. Thanks, Scotty.
Thank you very much. Love speech to everyone. Looking forward to hearing about your game, Liam.
Oh, yeah, the game.
Legend, buddy.
Love you all. Love you, Matty.
See ya, Scotty. Take care, Matty.
See ya.
Yeah.
We've got a couple more. It's been like flat out here. First of all, Seba 17-9, hit the like button and sub with arrogance. TJP and the Monday Blues are the best communities. I'm telling you, man, it's really fucking good communities there, man. There's been some others here that have been like sending some messages. Yeah, so I'll go through it slowly, but there's been heaps going through. Anyway, there's another person here I just want to quickly get on, and then we'll go through your game, Liam. We'll go quickly, but we got Oz, man. Oz is a great supporter. Always giving free memberships, donating. He's been to like all our events. He goes to all the games. He's a hard worker, man. How you going, Oz?
I'm good. How you going, Rocco?
Very, very good now that you're on.
Oz, what's going on, bud?
Hey, Mark. Yeah, I was at the game on Sunday. It was good in the first quarter, and then the last 3 quarters were kind of ordinary.
They were ordinary. It was
I stated that before, Oz, regarding those last 3 quarters.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't good at all, man. So, but yeah, first quarter was pretty good. We set up the win, and then it was always going to be tough for us in the comeback when you're nearly 7 goals down. So all you've got to do is kick 3 or 4 goals. I mean, we ended up kicking 6 in the first and then 5 for the rest of the quarter. So that means you've only kicked 1. That means you've got to kick 11 in the next 3. So it was always going to make it difficult. So every time we kicked. I mean, every time they kicked a goal or 2, we'd respond with 1. So it kept us arm's length away. And then sometimes chasing is tough, man, to get back up and win it. Yeah. What do you think? What did you like about our team, Oz? Who impressed you? Because there were a couple that impressed us.
I hate to say it, but I think it was Motlop's best game that he ever played.
Yep, they play him in the forward line. He got busy. He kicked goals. What about Silvani? He kept.
Silvani was good. Yeah. Silvani was very good.
Done really good job on Caddy. He was another one. We talked about Chincotta, what he did. What Silvani did to Caddy. I mean, Caddy was no influence at all. And the week before, he was a match winner, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Silvani played a very good game. I think he's in the top 60 of defensive players this year so far.
100%. He's killing it. He's killing it. He's impressed me so much. He asked for a move in the back line. It's like his old man was fullback of the century. It's amazing, man. Like it's amazing that he's playing so well, So no, he's been really, really good. He's impressed me. And now you got Wiedering, you got Sauce, you know what I mean? And then you got Haynes back there. Defense looks solid, But I think I think that we've got problems in some other areas. What do you reckon, Oz?
Yeah, I think we got problem in the forward line. We need to kick more goals.
So what's the problem there, man? Like we're getting Curnow kicking 3 and then just disappearing. You reckon he's doing enough? Is he a bit lazy? What's going on?
Yeah, I reckon he's a bit lazy. He's dropped off this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes he just wants it. He doesn't want to do the hard work, you reckon? I'll give you a question, Oz. If we have to get rid of him, we'll get rid of one of them. Who would you get rid of? Mackay or Curnow?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
That's what I do. I ask the tough questions.
Yeah. I'd say I would edge more towards Curnow because at least Mackay tries. He tries to kick goals. So I'd say Curnow, yeah. Probably trade Curnow.
You trade Curnow, yeah? I'm with you.
Yeah.
If I'm going to trade one, I'll trade Curnow because I think that Mackay goes up the ground. He does a bit more work, I know that Curnow's the Hollywood man. He's the one who scores the big goals and all that. I just like Mackay's hard work. Not that I want to tell you the truth, I don't want to get rid of any of them. It's just a question we've been bringing up on the Jumper Punch. It's just a bit of a fun question. Who would you get rid of, So, I mean, you got to have these discussions when you're talking about your team, mate. And if you're not traveling so well, if you think that none of your players, you're in denial, bro. People are in denial, man. And sometimes you got to make moves, mate. And I'll give you an example. They say like Kennedy's gone over to the doggies and he's killing it, correct? Oh, and then I hear people go, oh, like, why did you get rid of Kennedy? Plays a different role for the doggies. He played this same role for us, right? That we got Hewitt, we got these same people. It's been good for Hewitt because he's moved out. It's been good for the doggies, right? But he plays a different role for the doggies. They've got a different midfield, So sometimes a move is good for both players, you know what I mean? Or both teams, like just because a player plays better at another club, maybe he needed that move, So sometimes you got to think for your club. Like I think to my club, I go, what do I need? I need a small forward. We need an outside running midfielder. You know what I mean? That's what I think we need. We get that. We get Jagger Smith next year back. We get an outside. Not that we're going to get this bloke, but someone like Butters from Port Adelaide. You chuck him in our midfield, right? And then we get we put Jagger Smith comes in, and you get a good small forward like a Bobby Hill or someone like that. All right, that's good. Your team's going to be heaps better, isn't it? But how are you going to get those players? You have to trade. They're not just going to come for free, are they? So sometimes you've got to give something to get something, and that's the way I'm looking at it, man. Like I love my jumper, but the players are just players to me, man. You agree, Oz?
Yeah, I agree. We definitely need to trade out some players and get some new players in.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Come on, boys. The season's not over yet, mate. There's still another 14 weeks to go. Come on, we'll be all talking different stories. That's not being realistic. Bro.
You've
got West Coast coming up. You've got North Melbourne coming up.
And you've got this. You got one of these. This is a guy that you guys have just in your draft there, Marco. So he should be playing in a couple of weeks' time, mate.
Yep.
So he should be all right. Yeah.
More of the teams there that comes through.
I know that, but that's like, I know that. It's always, mathematical, you can make it. But when you look at it overall, mate, you can see, all right, so we beat North Melbourne and West Coast, right? Then we've got Collingwood, Brisbane, fucking Port Adelaide. Like, you got to think, all right, and then I look at this and I go, the way we played, would we beat those teams? Of course, you hope you beat them. Yeah, but in reality, are you going to beat them the way you play? No. So then you start looking ahead and you go, all right, for next year, what do we got to do? Like, don't just be, we've got the list, we've got it. No, you have to improve. Whoever wins the grand final this year, right? I'll give you an example. Brisbane won it last year. They have to improve this year or else they're not going to win it. Right? So even the team that wins this year, they're going to have to improve for 27.
Yeah, but I still believe that Carlton's got the list to improve to be competitive to make finals. That's what I'm trying to
but we need to fill holes, Mark. We need to fill those holes, and they don't just feel like that.
There's only one or two holes that you can fill.
And then the other thing is you say you trade players, but you need to trade players that have got currency.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like you just can't trade. Who are you going to trade? We'll give you we'll give you some fucking hack in the back. We'll give you Haynes and we want Butters or something. What the fuck's wrong with you, mate? Like you got to give us something to get something, and so that's the way I feel it. But Oz, what do you reckon about this week, mate?
I reckon we'll smash West Coast on their home ground. Just like we did at Gather Round. 55 to 60 points. I reckon.
I mean, they're not
That's a big call.
It'd be more,
it's a big call.
It'll be more convincing than the last time we played West Coast.
Fuck, we bet them by each last
70 points. 71, I think it was. Yeah, 71 points.
I mean, they're
traveling. I reckon the West Coast might beat you guys.
Are we doing the tips, are we?
No, we'll do the tips soon, but tip them if you reckon they'll beat us.
I will.
All right, good.
I'm on your wavelength there, Manny. I'm just about to go with you, mate.
And they might beat us, but in reality, they're playing hopeless. They've lost players. They've lost their forward. Like we're convincingly beaten them the last few times. We actually play well in Western Australia. It's one of our favourite grounds to go ahead and play at, you know. So at the end of the day, we're not worse than West Coast. Fucking hell, man. We're not, you know, like we're bad, but we're not that bad. If we can't beat West Coast, mate, then yeah, I reckon heads are going to roll next week. Tell the truth. All right, Oz, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Ozzy.
Thanks for having me, Rocker.
You're a champion, mate. Thanks for all your support. Hopefully, I don't know if you're working or not. We'll see you Sunday if you can.
Yeah, I probably have work on Monday, so I probably can't come. I'm going to watch from home.
All right, not a problem, bro. If not, next time, and we'll see you on the chat. Thanks, mate.
All right, see you guys.
See you, mate. All right, everyone's been waiting for this. Fuck, man. So 4-12-36 to 11-14, 80. And you know what? I actually picked Richmond, you dog, right? And
I did too.
I think us three all picked Richmond, right?
Yeah.
And it was probably back to reality a little bit, yeah.
It's just disappointing, man, because like I said, I think the month ahead, like the month before that, we'd actually been playing pretty good football, but man, that's hard. We kicked 2 points across the half. I think it would have been an hour or more game time without a goal. That's crazy, man. It just didn't work. We started all right in the first quarter. The contest was pretty even. Surprisingly, I got it up. The clearance numbers were actually okay for the game. I'll do a bit of mark. Try to shout out a good player. Dion Presti has been good since he's come back. He's definitely making an impact in there. But we looked lost. We didn't move the ball forward well. I mean, I gave credit to those young guys like Fall and Sims last week for their work up forward. They looked lost against Sydney. Our forward line had no idea what to do. And when Sydney got the ball, they just carved us. I think it was 61 inside 50. So I'll get it up again. I've just taken it away, but I think it was 61 inside 50s to Sydney to 38 for us. That's a poor number. They really could have put on more. I think anytime you're having 10 unanswered goals kicked against you, and we weren't even responding. It was there's not too much I can say on this one, guys. It was just one of those days where the effort wasn't there, the game plan wasn't working, and Sydney took full advantage. They
reality.
By more. Back to reality, I guess. I think it's just one of those games. And Uze said it in his press conference. He's kind of like, we don't want this to be the inevitable result with young players, but unfortunately, it was one of those games where it's kind of like we just got beaten. Sydney, I know, have had a tough season, but they had a good. They had the experience and they used it well against us. I mean, Manny Costas has it in the chat. He's right. Our forwards cannot kick at goals. That's a few times. Obviously, last week was really big because it did cost us to win. But again, I think looking through, I think Lynch 0 goals, 2 behinds. I think Thomas Sims had 0-2 as well. Jonty Falls 0-3. So they had a couple of chances, but man, if you're kicking 2-3 behinds for no goals. Yeah, but we've got to buy. Clearly, a lot of goal kicking practice needs to happen. I think that connection between the midfield and forward group is definitely something to work on. Defense is okay. Holding them to 80 points is still pretty decent. It's been a target we've struggled to keep teams to over the last few years. So, look, we're getting better in that aspect. But I think going into the bye, it's definitely the forward line and particularly that mid-forward connection. Clearances has been better. We need to work on that area still. But, I can't really give you too much else on this game. It was disappointing.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, I think I've said this here before. You're a young side. You're going to go up and down. You're going to have some inspiring games. You're going to have a victory here and there. You're going to beat a top side, and then you're going to get punished. And that's what's going to happen. You're a young side. That's what happens. You know what I mean? Until you build that consistency and those players. And the second half of the year, just remember, you've had these young players that are been playing really well. It's their first year, man. They're going to get tired in the second half. They're going to be beaten up, man. they haven't been through, full they haven't been through, 1, 2, 3, 4 pre-seasons, and their bodies is built up, So as long as you see, like
little stints of improvement.
Yeah, you get those players. Yeah, of course, man, and that's what you hope for, and then but you're right. There's not much. It was a pretty shitty game. It wasn't the best. You know what I mean? And it is what it is.
Liam, that Sydney just brought you boys back to earth, mate. They just gave you a bit of a football lesson on the weekend about just being consistent and improving. I think
Sydney, like what you said for your team as well. Sydney's an experienced side. They had all the players. I think they had 6 players under 20 games. But you're right. They definitely showed us up a bit.
Yeah, a little bit more of an effort and consistency. Even though Sydney convincingly won, I think that Richmond should have at least showed a little bit more effort. Just to go back to the supporters and say, okay, we lost, but going down by Sydney at home at the MCG, I think was more disappointing than anything else.
It's when the senior players don't turn up. That's why I get a bit frustrated.
That's right. Exactly
outside
right.
of Prestia and probably Nankervis.
Yeah,
and Veloston's always really good for us.
And that's what disappoints us. Is that those
no one else was great.
Yeah.
As much as I can say, Sims and Foles didn't take their chances in front of goal. They've played less than 10 games. They only just started this year, so it's hard to bag up young guys. And back on Rockwell's point as well, we've got to get them through a full season. It's
exactly, man.
I think it's a good time for the bye. It's a good time for the bye. A good time for us to reset.
Oh, you're guaranteed you're not to lose.
Yeah, very good. Hey, listen, we've got another person waiting in the chat. This is special for me. Let's get him on. We got Andy from the Monday Blues, mate. How you going, brother?
What's going on, guys?
Mate, we got some royalty here, man. I love this bloke, man. I tell you now, I saw
Rocco's the only royalty here, mate. Rocco's the only fucking loyalty.
Yeah, take it easy, Andy. Take it easy.
How you doing, mate?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Good.
I saw Andy after the game. We kind of sit in the same area. So, after the game, I've never seen someone so angry after a win. Mate, Andy is as honest and as true about this football club as anyone, man. And, so it was...
I was fuming, Rocco. I was fucking fuming.
I know. You're always
raging.
You always won, and you're fuming, and you won.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because in my head, I've still got an expectation, and the expectation is if you're 40 points up against, a team of that's filled with half VFL, right? Like, no disrespect to Essendon, and all praise to Essendon, right? They got the best out of those young players, and I think my expectations are too high.
Yeah.
On game day. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
So I think I've got to get my head around that. I just popped in to say, boys, I love your show. This is actually one of my favorite shows just to tune into every now and again. I love it. I don't get to catch most of it live, unfortunately, but I do always catch the replay. So I love this show, man. I love the banter between you guys.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I mean, it is. It's good. It's good banter. It's good to get different supporters on here and get some honest point of view about our clubs and where they're at. You know what I mean? And then stick it a little bit to us. You know what I mean? But like, why we got you there, right? What do you think about Collingwood doing so well, Andy? What's that doing to you, mate? What's that? Because remember, go down to Pascoe Vale, Bottle, right? Get down there because Andy owns the place. You're going to get down there. You're going to walk in and you're going to get 10% off if you say this one phrase. What do you have to say?
You come in, you say, fuck Collingwood, you get 10% off in my shop. I'm not even joking. You get 10% off. I've got a little button on my screen with a Carlton monogram. I'll press that and you get 10% off.
Andy, I'm going to come to your bottle shop, mate. You're going to give me a 6-pack for nothing, buddy, eh?
I'll give you a 6-pack to leave. Hey, your boys are doing well. Your boys are doing very, very well. Makes me sick in the stomach. I hate it.
He's talking to Manny here.
Talking to Manny. Sorry.
So if we go off now, you guys last year came off the bye, and all of a sudden we saw a different Carlton. Is it possible that we may see something similar over the next 6-7 weeks?
Look, anything's possible, but I think it's a bit different this time around. I don't think we've got the cattle. I think last time we brought back a bit of pace into the team, a bit of poise into the team with Jack Martin, Cunningham. I think Fogarty came back in.
Yeah.
This time around, I mean, we're not really missing much. So it would have to come from a tactical point of view. And I don't think we've got the right coaches for that. I genuinely don't think we do. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope we come out, win the next 20 games. I want to win a flag. But it's a bit different this time around, I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a mindset. It's a lot of things. It's definitely technical, and I believe a lot of it tacticals, and a lot of it they're just weak. They're weak because you can't be 38 points up and give up like that, So
exactly,
you're right. Last year we had a few people come back, and there was a little bit different with these players coming back. We played a little bit different, and plus we were just getting into this contested ball. No one we kind of surprised everyone with it. It was that surprise tactic. Everyone knows about this now, like taxing game being, like trying to do this contested game and trying to win the game. And then after that, we just, like the way we deliver the ball in, and really, now that I got you, I'll be honest, like, we're one of the worst kicks in the fucking league, mate. We can't hit a target from 20 metres, mate. That's the most basic part of football, mate. Like, so what Manny said, can there be a difference? Yeah, anything can happen. But in reality, what needs to change, mate? Like, we have to change completely.
Yeah, we'd have to change. Honestly, there'd have to be improvement. And I feel like a lot of change in a lot of aspects of the game. It's not just like a tweak. We'd have to shift so much. So I can't see it happening. I pray it happens. I wake up every day. I say thank you, God, for waking me up. Thank you for the Carlton Football Club, and please destroy the Collingwood Football Club. I don't know if he listens to me or not, but
he's not listening at the moment.
He's not listening.
Not at the moment. No, I think I've got a bit to repent for first, I think.
Yeah. I think there's a few things you've got to make up before he starts helping you out there.
I think so. Yeah, I think Collingwood's just looking so good at the moment, though. It does my head in, but they just know how to win. They just know how to win. Even with Dacos getting tagged, you guys just look polished. Yeah, and the biggest thing for me, and the reason why I actually think you guys will probably win the flag, you've got the best leaders on the field. And I think that's the difference that separates Collingwood from everyone else.
Yeah.
So
we had this discussion last night, right, with the leaders, right? Who were the leaders at Carlton?
We got none.
Yeah.
I don't care. So we have none.
You got Crippo, who tries his best in the middle, and you got, like, I believe Wiedering's a big leader, but he's in the back line.
Yeah.
Like, he's in the full back. Like, what's he going to do from back there? Take marks, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need those enforcers, at the forward line, in the middle, and sometimes I think we lack that, and that comes from way up above, not instilling it, not recruiting the right people. You know what I mean? And so that's a big thing, and good teams. Brisbane have got it. Geelong have got it. You know, they got leaders all over the ground, Geelong.
Yeah.
From the back to the front. You know what I mean? And sometimes I think we lack that, mate. We just fucking lack those, and we're also mentally weak. We're getting players taking personal leave every second week, Andy. Like, what's going on, mate?
I mentioned it.
You got too many love boys on
Mentioned
your
it
team.
on our show, mate. It's almost like the culture has become so soft at Carlton. There's this just being soft, and it's okay. We'll put our arms, and I understand there's you know, mental health issues, and I get all that, but this is a high intensity environment.
Yep.
You know, and when things are high intensity, if you can't stand the heat, you know the rest. It is what it is. It is what it is.
100%. And if you've got these weak-minded players, and I'm not saying, I'm not going to name them, I'm not going to say who they are, whatever, but at the end of the day, if you've got these sort of players, I think it runs through the club. I think it runs through the club. Mate, if you get players that are not being, you know, like tough, man, I mean, the younger players, they see that and they take the easy way out. It's like water. Remember Bruce Lee? Water always takes, be like water. You know, like the water will always take the easiest path, right? It'll always take the easiest path. And it's like electricity, always takes the easiest path to the bottom, you know? It feels like sometimes we're just taking the easiest path. The hard path is too hard to take, you know? So, you know, and, you know, we need fucking strong people. And it all, you know me, it all starts from the top. It all starts from the top, man. So, yeah. So there you go. See, I needed Andy for him to get it out what it's all about, mate, you know? But you like Mark, you were saying before, oh, you aren't, mate. Monday Blues and the Jumper Punch. There's no one more honest than us about our side, mate.
Yeah,
we get upset when we win. We get upset when we win because we have got an expectation, mate. This isn't good enough.
You're spot on. You're spot on.
You need if you want to win, you need high expectations, mate. Like losing when I fucking followed the footies in the 80s and 90s, we had John Elliott, Sticks Kernahan. Coming second, losing the grand final was not a time to celebrate. You were a loser. You were the biggest loser out of everyone. You were the best of all the losers. That's what you were. It's either first or nothing. Now it seems like, oh, you know, we just got over Essendon's reserve side, and what? and fucking supporters are celebrating like you won the grand final. Well, if you expect that, what do you think the players are going to expect?
Yeah.
You're clapping them off. Clap them off. They're all doing well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I hate people that tell me, oh, you're not a real supporter. They go and get fucked. That's what I say to you, mate. Yeah. Don't tell me I'm not a real supporter. I'll just tell it as it is, mate. Like, and what, you telling me those players don't want the best for themselves? And if you don't, fuck off. You know, like I spend my money in that to watch you. If you don't want the best for the team, piss off. Go. Get out of here, mate. All of yous, man. All of yous, mate. That's why when Mackay said what he said at the start of the year, it still burns my face. It still burns me what he said at the start of the year, mate. I didn't like it, you know. Like, he's got plenty of time. Have you? You'll be working at McDonald's fucking in a couple of years, man, serving me fries, mate.
What have I done? I've just G'd Rocco up.
You know me, it doesn't take
much. We love it, mate. We love Rocco.
Andy, buddy. Monday, what is it? Monday Blues?
Yeah. Monday Blues.
Monday Blues. Monday night, obviously.
Monday nights, 9 p.m.
Sometimes you just don't know. So every Monday, 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm gonna
9 p.m. 9 p.m. Mondays. The Monday Blues.
All
right. You got Thursdays for the teams, haven't you?
Thursdays are usually the previews.
Yeah.
Half time of whatever game. We jump on quick one on Thursdays. But yeah, every Monday, 9 p.m. Honestly, I literally just came on to say I love your work.
Yeah, that's fine.
I didn't want to G you up, Rocco, but hey, I fucking love it, bro. I love it because this is what we need in the club, mate. Instead of having fucking, did you see the video they were posting up today? They put up a post, bro. I don't know who put it up, but you got the players saying what their favorite color is. Oh, bro, I don't care what your favorite fucking color is. I don't care. I promise to you, I don't give a fuck. Like, win. Just win. You know what? Play well. Just that's where the standard is now. Just who cares? Read the fucking room.
Yeah. Exactly.
My favorite color is yellow.
Like we were saying at the game, man. Like we're struggling to win, and they're putting up pictures of merchandise. Like jam it up your ass. I'm not buying merchandise when you're playing this crap, mate. Like, and what about
my missus? Sorry, Rock. My missus doesn't like. She's never been into footy, whatever. As soon as I got with her, I got her a Carlton membership, so she gets the emails. Right? She didn't go to the game. She was watching the game at home. And when I got home, she tells me, she's like, do you know what happened? I go, what? She goes, as soon as the siren went, they sent out that 20% off the store email. And she's like, they're just capital. And my missus works in branding and marketing. She's like, this is just capitalizing off their supporter base. This is just monetizing their fan base. They don't give a fuck if they. That's why they're happy they win, because they can put out offers and emails like that.
But
there you go, Mark. 20% off, mate. You could have got yourself a Carlton jumper.
Yeah, that's it. You could have got it to wear it.
I just told you before, mate. They were sold out, buddy. What's 20%?
Oh, I'll turn it up, mate.
Look, and that's why, Mark, I said
it's up to Rocco. It's up to Rocco at the end of the day. I've got a Guernsey here from the antique shop there.
Because I know you're going to put one of your props up, and if you're gonna get out of your bet, no, next week you've got a whole week to grab the jumper and put it on, because
I'll come to your place and I'll grab your Guernsey.
No. I don't give a fuck how you get your jumper. You wearing it next week. I'm gonna post that video and I'm gonna spread it around the world.
Show us the jumper. I want to see it.
Show us. Rocco's gonna see it. What do you mean? It's a Guernsey.
I want you to get the real jumper and honor your bet.
Can I see the Guernsey? Can I see it?
At the end of the day, it's a Guernsey.
I want to see it.
I don't give a shit. Go to his place and see it. None of your business.
Put your hand up if you want to see the Guernsey.
Yeah, I'll show you the hand. I'll show you the hand.
Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Hey, Rocco, a bet is a bet. At the end of the day, I'm going to wear the Carlton blue emblem. And that's what matters, mate. A bet is a bet.
No, you want me to replay it again?
I'm gonna wear the Spud Guernsey. That's it. So if you want me
I'm telling you now, I'll pound you all fucking year if you don't put on that jumper and honor you bet you.
I've got the jumper from fucking.
You're like that player. What is it? Durham, whatever the fuck it is.
Antique Roadshow Reservoir. Antique Roadshow in
Anyway, we got to move on. You're a
dog. I'm gonna go.
Andy.
Love you.
See you, mate.
Andy.
Go well, boys.
See you, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
See you. Bye-bye.
Far out, man. This is going to go on forever, man. We got to move on, man. But I had to get Andy on. He's a star, Andy. He's a star, man. As fucking honest as it comes, mate. Just love it, man. I love it. All right. We got to move.
Mr. Scotty was good too tonight, mate.
We're going to talk about the games this week.
Let's move along.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's get the tips going, because we are now, mate. This show's getting longer than the jumper punch.
What? What's going on? Get it! Come on, boys. I've got to
let's get it going, mate. Tips for this week. Let's do it.
Here we go, fellas. First up, Thursday night football, St Kilda Bulldogs, Marvel Stadium. Not the most exciting game in the world, but I still don't rate St Kilda coming off their bye. Bulldogs play Marvel well. Yeah, let's go with the doggies.
I'm going doggies too, mate. The St Kilda is shit house.
Manny,
you guys?
Well, St Kilda beat Melbourne a couple of weeks ago. They had the bite. So, look, I think St Kilda might come out and sort of prove a point. But Doggies for me.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you made me write fucking St Kilda. You
know. That's why I asked Benny. Anyway, Bulldogs for me.
All right, beautiful. Next game.
Next game, Friday night down in Tassie. Hawks versus Adelaide. Should be a good one. Hawks do play well down in Tassie. Can Adelaide pull up another big win? Hawks have been in pretty ordinary form, but I think Hawks have to win this one as well. I'm going to stick with the Hawks just because it's in Tassie.
Adelaide for me.
Hawthorn for me.
I've got Hawthorn, Adelaide. Who'd you say, Mark?
Hawthorn.
And would you say Liam?
Hawthorn.
Yeah, I'm going Hawthorn too. So Adelaide. All right, beautiful. Keep going.
Boom. Moving on to Saturday. Brisbane versus Giants at the Gabba. Brisbane unlucky to lose. And Giants, yeah, they've had a couple wins in a row. Oh, no, they didn't. They lost to Port Adelaide, did they? Yeah, they did.
They've lost the last couple, I think. Yeah.
They've been up and down. Hey, you can't trust them. Not against Brisbane at the Gabba. Yeah, Brisbane.
Yeah,
Brisbane for me.
Yeah. Mark?
Brisbane for me.
Yep. Next. Oh, this is the blockbuster.
Oh, mate, it is not a game I want to be watching. Essendon versus Geelong, MCG. I hope it's a draw because I hate them both. But Geelong's playing better footy. I think Essendon have proved that they can provide a bit of a challenge. But yeah, Geelong, I hate to say it, they're looking pretty good at the minute. So I'll go Geelong.
Yeah, I'm going to go Geelong. I think they'll win pretty comfortably, to tell you the truth, man. So, but yeah, Geelong for me. I think you've got another injury, and I think it's going to catch up on to.
Oh, this is going to be toss of the coin for me.
Oh, there you go. All right.
How many coins you got there, mate?
How many coins you got there?
Toss of the coin. Fuck.
That is not
Geelong.
Fucking hell, it's coming. I can't believe like the stuff, like the fucking
This game, Liam, is it a twilight? Is it twilight? 4:15 or something? 4:15. Is it?
I can't see that game. Yeah, 4:15 for you guys.
Yeah, it's a twilight game, so the weather can make a big difference in this game. But I think if Geelong are 36 points up in the first quarter, I think, going by the way we've been going the last couple of weeks, we will come back and win by 2 points.
Fuck. That would be a comeback. That would be a comeback.
Well, it's been happening in the last 2 weeks, Rocco. So we've been down 36 points plus in the first quarter. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, but all right.
Yeah, all right. Dreamers, whatever. You know, people can dream. It's as much as you want.
You keep on supporting our club, mate.
Yeah, I know. You got to be realistic.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Moving
Next
on. Saturday night game. Back-to-back games at Optus. That's kind of cool. But North Melbourne versus Fremantle. I didn't realise that's North's home game. That's weird.
Yeah, so this is one of the games they've sold over to Fremantle. Yeah, they sold one of their games. So there you go.
That is weird. But I watched North Melbourne play on the weekend. They're terrible. Hey, Fremantle will win. Easy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Fremantle for me.
Yeah, Fremantle for me.
All right, next one. This is actually an interesting one.
This is a tough one to tip. This is the one I had the most trouble with. Port Adelaide, Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval. Port came out of the bye, played pretty good. Melbourne, though, their form hasn't been terrible. Maybe unlucky to lose on Monday. 6-day turnaround. I don't know if that helps them. Bit of interstate travel as well. Don't know if that helps them. But I don't have a whole lot of confidence in Port. I'm going to back Melbourne to bounce back from the upset. I'm going Melbourne.
You're thinking like me. I think that Melbourne will beat Port Adelaide this week. You kind of made some good points there, the 6-day break and the travel. I didn't really kind of think of that, but I've gone with Melbourne.
Yeah, I
think you're right there. Port Adelaide for me.
Flip a coin.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so it's tails.
Melbourne.
So Melbourne for me.
All right. And the blockbuster to finish off the round.
Oh,
And make sure you get down to the Sporting Globe to catch us and catch up with us and watch this game at the Sporting Globe. We'll get I think they got like $36 fucking towers and we got
Can I go to the Sporting Globe?
Of course you can, man. It's open to everyone.
Okay.
Actually,
you're gonna wear your Carlton jersey
and wear your Carlton jersey, you scumbag.
No, I've got it here. I've got it here. I'll put it on before we go, all right?
No, you won't.
And I'll sing the song too.
No, you won't. You're going to put on the real jumper and you're going to sing it next week.
I want to see. I want to see the jumper. I want to see the jersey.
You'd be quite surprised what you can get from the antique shop at Reservoir, mate. And I'll show you now.
Don't worry, you can keep it for yourself. As I said, keep your bets. Who are we tipping here? Of course, I'm going to tip Carlton. Easy.
Yeah, same thinking. I watched West Coast play the other day. Carlton's got to beat them. Yeah.
So Manny's going West Coast, yeah?
West Coast.
All right. I love it. You're only one in front, so I'm loving that guy.
Yep. West Coast.
Yeah. After last week's performance from Carlton, I think that West Coast is going to be due for a win. 3 points.
Hang on. Are you going West Coast?
Yeah, I'm going to go West Coast.
You don't even know how to fucking tip because the only way you're going to catch up was to go.
I'm going Carlton.
No. Hold on a minute. Well, who are you going
Carlton.
Wait a second. Your tips are in, mate.
Yeah,
I'm going Carlton.
I'm going Carlton. I'm going Carlton.
No, you can't change. Bad luck. No. You can't do that. You can't just go because of each other.
All right. So what?
Well,
so
we're going to get the leaderboard this week. I think I'm.
So we're both going for West Coast.
We're going to West Coast. That's all right, Manny, mate. We'll get further and further in front. Don't worry on the tips.
All right.
You won't get further and further in front. We're going to catch up. So Collingwood, the Suns, Sydney, and Richmond have got the bye. Here it is. So me and Liam are way behind. We're fighting for that spot, but Manny just took a 1 point lead. And this is what I mean, Mark. If you had any brains, you would have actually gone.
No,
but
it's not having brains, Rocco, mate. At the end of the day, Manny's going to.
No, in actual fact, because you've gone for Essendon and you've gone to, well, you could go another. What else have you gone different?
I could be. That's right.
You could actually go down 3.
No, I should be up 5, mate. If I tipped against Essendon, so Manny's tipping Collingwood and they're winning, and that's fine. And I'm winning
against Essendon. You keep using the same excuse. If I have done this, that you do the tips. No one hold you to ransom.
I'm just giving you a reason why I'm only 1 point.
There is no reason. There is no reason.
I'll always tip Essendon.
No, there isn't. There is no reason. That's your choice.
And flip of the coin, it makes a big difference.
Well, that's up to you. Well, no one asked you to do it. You want to be a hero.
I'm only 1 point behind Manny because Manny's going to always go for Collingwood. And I'm always going to go for Essendon. And to be quite honest, I'm only 1 point behind. I don't know about you boys, but
you're slowly going to go.
No, you're doing all right. You're doing all right.
That's all right. I've won the last 2.
Yeah.
No, we're not too bad.
We're doing all right.
What, 9 tips off Manny?
I'll catch up 3 on you this week, and then slowly get you, mate.
But if I get one back on Manny every week, I'll be ahead of him.
All right, guys, it's been a big show, man. I'm pretty worn out. It's 3.5 hours.
You want me to get the guernsey? Do you want me to sing the song, Manny, Rocco, before we go?
No,
I want to see
because I won't let you make fun of our side because you can't honour a bet.
All right. Well, your choice.
You're a fraud.
I'm not a fraud.
I'll finish you up. You're a fucking fraud. I'll finish off the way I started. You are a fraud, and you've actually shown your true colours. Because
I couldn't get a guernsey. I couldn't get a guernsey, mate. So I tried my best that I could.
Quick coming over.
Essendon win. You sing the song. Carlton win. I'll wear the Spud Guernsey.
All right. Done.
I don't even know.
And you have to sing the song.
How many times you have to see it to show that you are a fraud, right? And again, you're showing your true colours, brother.
What I'll do, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you.
No,
okay?
you're not taking any picture. The deal was you would wear it.
I've got it if you want me to wear it.
I want you to wear the true Carlton jumper. I won't allow you to get out of a bet and try to make fun. You keep your props up your ass. You put on the right top like you said you were going to do, right? And you come on next week. That's it.
All right.
Happy? Good.
Manny, have you got any funds, Manny? Because they're worth about $250 these Guernseys, mate.
Borrow it. Borrow a top from someone.
I do have to say this before I go there.
Can I come
Can you do a fund account?
I'll let you wear mine.
Huh?
I'll let you wear mine.
I just said that to you. You said, no, you're not wearing mine. Oh.
Well, you're not going to wear that one. That's got like 40 premiership players on that, so I won't let you wear my favourite one.
Of course not. That's silly.
I don't have premiership.
All right, listen. Liam, did you have something to say?
Yeah, no. Manny and I were chatting about it at the start of the show, and I did say I would mention it at some stage. So I've got it in at the end. Carlton, worst club song, and
all right, here we go.
I know my sister's watching, who reckons they're great costumes or whatever. No, Carlton, worst jerseys.
It's the best jumper in the business, mate.
Boring, right?
No, it's not boring. It's classic.
I reckon 2-year-olds could have done a better job on your
stuff your yellow and black up your fucking ass, man. That's all you've got.
Mate,
yellow and black. You've got a bunch of
Come
toothless fucking homeless people. The only two words they know. You know why you do yellow and black?
Yeah, I'm getting
the only two words you know in the dictionary. Yellow and black.
That's not even a word, mate. What is that? You're just making noise.
Well, what's yellow and black?
Yellow and black are the colours, mate.
Right, you Liam, mate.
Yeah, right, makes sense.
That's how dumb you are. You've got to remind everyone. You know why you say yellow and black? Because you're reminding the whole crowd which team is your team on the ground. You're going, which is our side? Oh, the yellow and black. That's why you're saying it.
Oh, mate. I don't know, mate, but I'm telling you, your jumpers are shocking.
Oh,
jumpers.
It's like when you draw the Superman
jumper in the league. What? You think you come up with a black jumper? Oh, we'll just put some yellow bird shit down the front of it just to make it. Come on, bro.
It's
right.
It's
literally just a big C, mate. It's a black jumper with a C.
You know what? I used to like you, right? And you're starting to fucking piss me off, right? And you know what? When you come down to Melbourne, I'm going to punch you straight in the fucking balls, mate.
Oh, mate. If you hit me, it's coming right back. It's the game on.
You know what?
You
covered, mate.
Yeah, true colours have come out today, mate. I'm fucking not happy about this, mate. All of you are starting to give me the shits. I'm going.
We'll call it a night then, eh?
All right. I think we better call it a night before there's a fucking punch up here, man.
So a man goes in for a job interview. A man goes in for a job interview and at the local council, and the interviewer starts off with the basics. Are you allergic to anything? And he says, yeah, caffeine. Actually, I can't drink coffee. And he says, all right, no worries. And he says, have you ever served in the military? And he said, well, actually, he says, I did tour in Iraq. And the interviewer said, oh, geez, that's an extra 5 points for you. This is, the interview's going really, really well. And then he says, I've got to ask this question. He says, are you disabled in any way? And he goes, look, to be honest with you, he was hesitating. Of course, he says, look, a bomb went off very close to where I was standing, and basically I lost both of my testicles. And the interviewer was sort of like, oh, shit, I'm sorry to hear about that. He says, look, you've got the job. I want you every day to come in and start at 10 o'clock. He says, hours of operations between 8 o'clock and 4 p.m. He says, but I want you to come in at 10 o'clock every day. So anyway, first week goes by, and then the bloke comes in one day and he says, listen, he says, I feel bad. He says, I don't want to be coming into work at 10 o'clock. I want to be coming in at 8 o'clock. And the bloke says, listen, you don't understand. The first 2 hours, all we do is drink coffee and scratch our balls.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And on that note,
Go the Bombers.